This guy flirted with young Master Lamb's girl. And now, the young master's thugs are beating him senseless. However, as soon as they vanish, 𝐶𝐿 stands up and brushes himself off with an incredibly resilient spirit. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but first, he needs to work his part-time job for tuition. Suddenly, 𝐶𝐿 trips on something and wipes out. Clutching his bruised back, he grinds his teeth and curses. Talk about bad luck. Suddenly, a system window appears. Host 0 activated. Initiating physical body scan. A cold, robotic voice echoes from nowhere, leaving 𝐶𝐿 completely stunned. He looks around and finds a glowing ring under him. The arrogant artifact demands he call it master and put it on. From this moment forward, your official title is 0. Listen closely. In 16 hours, a biochemical virus will erupt. Your main quest: hunt zombies and save humanity. 𝐶𝐿 just scoffs. He's absolutely convinced this is just some elaborate high-tech scam designed to trick him. Scams only work on gaming addicts, and he is no fool. He tosses the ring away, making it scream in panic. Wait, just put the ring on, and I will prove everything I have said is the absolute truth. 𝐶𝐿 glares at it, then puts it on just to see what kind of trick these scammers have planned next. The ring starts scanning. Suddenly, 𝐶𝐿 feels like he is falling through a different dimension. Scan successful. The system projects a terrifying future. Ruins everywhere and hordes of the undead. The apocalypse is truly coming. The vision was so vivid that 𝐶𝐿 breaks into a cold sweat. According to the ring, those were memories of the future apocalypse that have now been uploaded. His brain, realizing he might be in deep trouble, he tries to rip it off. This is total nonsense. I am not falling for it. Suddenly, the ring glows blue, and an agonizing pain surges through 𝐶𝐿's finger like a shockwave. It warns him that removing the ring is fatal, facing a life-or-death threat. 𝐶𝐿 finally starts to believe. Still, he is confused. Why would a sentient ring choose a weakling like him to hunt down legendary zombies? The ring reassures him. Since he is the chosen one, he will be granted an overwhelming power-up soon. If he simply rubs the ring and says, "Interact," a hidden spatial storage window will manifest before him. Skeptical, 𝐶𝐿 tries it. To his shock, a metallic cube drops from the sky and lands right in front of him. Inside are resources and weapons. By slaying zombies and gaining experience, he can exchange points for any item he desires. There is also an evolution serum to boost his stats. But it only works if his body contains the zombie virus. If a normal human uses it, they will instantly turn into a mindless, flesh-eating monster. 𝐶𝐿 panics. That basically means he has to get bitten by a zombie first, just to use the medicine. Plus, if the virus kills him before the serum kicks in, the evolution trait will be completely useless. It is a total gamble. With the info transfer complete, the ring announces it is going to sleep and shuts down. It is already late afternoon, with only 16 hours left. 𝐶𝐿 must prepare for the ultimate survival mission. That night, he returns to the dorm carrying a massive tactical backpack half the size of his body. His best friend 𝐿 mentions he covered his attendance. 𝐶𝐿 ignores the small talk, looking dead serious. Tomorrow is the apocalypse. He dumps food on the table, warning everyone to barricade themselves inside for safety. His two other roommates just stare at him in silence before bursting into a fit of mocking laughter. Are you high or something? What kind of crazy, degenerate dreams up stories about a zombie apocalypse? They shove him aside and walk out, mocking him for being poor, stupid, and obsessed with weird fantasies. 𝐒𝐿 looks at him with concern, wondering if 𝐒𝐿𝐈 has caught a fever. 𝐒𝐿𝐈 frowns, looking for one last bit of trust. Confused, but loyal, 𝐒𝐿. Ben finally nods his head. Fine, I believe you. After barricading the door with furniture, 𝐒𝐿𝐈 grabs a broom and stands guard. While 𝐒𝐿 snores away, morning arrives. He wakes up to see 𝐒𝐿𝐈 with massive dark circles under his eyes. Do not let your guard down. The awakening of the end is almost here. Seeing 𝐒𝐿𝐈 acting so stubborn, 𝐒𝐿 loses his patience. He gets up to go back to his bed. Suddenly, there is a strange noise at the door. 𝐒𝐿 assumes it is their roommates. Did someone prank you? The sun is up, and there is not a single ghost outside. A blood-curdling scream pierced the air outside. 𝐒𝐿𝐈's eyes snapped, open the apocalypse was finally here. The door rattled violently as if it were about to burst. Wu Bin panicked. That thing outside was clearly no human. Chilling snarls echoed from the hallway. Looking down at the lobby, it was absolute carnage. Humanity was eating itself alive. Wu Bin's legs gave out, his voice trembling. It's all true. They've really become zombies. Are we going to die? 𝐒𝐿𝐈 grabbed his friend's shoulder, forcing him to focus. I've got the protagonist's luck, so we aren't dying yet. This is just the first outbreak. Hide, then we run. Despite his terror, Wu Bin worried about their roommates out at the bars. He wanted to go save them. 𝐒𝐿𝐈 sighed. Playing the hero with 0 stats. That's just a fast-track ticket to a premature reincarnation. Besides, the situation outside was a complete level 9 disaster. 𝐒𝐿𝐈 assessed the threat. These were low rank, zombies low, and mindless. Most students were likely still trapped in classrooms. If they stayed quiet and didn't get centered, they could survive this first wave of the nightmare. Suddenly, Wu Bin remembered. Their crush. The whole fan club was there. 𝐒𝐿𝐈's heart skipped a beat. He cared for her more than his own life. How could he forget? His expression darkened as he gripped an iron rod. His roommates' lives didn't matter to him anymore. But if those monsters touched a single hair on his goddess, he'd show them a real festival of blood. There was a fire axe on every floor, the perfect early game weapon. Lock the door, he commanded Wu Bin. If I survive, I'm coming back for you. Wu Bin watched him go, stunned by his friend's sudden change. Even in the end times, 𝐒𝐿𝐈 was a total simp. But aren't we brothers? I'm not letting you go alone. I'm only alive because of you. Now, let me help. 𝐒𝐿𝐈 smiled. True comrades are rare in a dungeon. In the hallway, a lone sluggish zombie was dragging its feet toward their room. 𝐒𝐿𝐈 lunged with a broom before delivering a brutal knee strike. They grabbed the emergency axe and move, now, 𝐒𝐿𝐈 signaled. But after 3 steps, the sheer scale of the massacre froze them solid. The survivor-to-zombie ratio was abysmal. Was there even anyone left alive in this hellhole? Wu Bin looked away. The corpses were so mutated, they weren't even recognizable as their former classmates. Look, up there! On the stage, a small group of survivors was huddling together in pure terror. The orange-haired class rep tried to calm them. Don't push. If we fall, we're all dead meat. If the class rep was still standing, there was a chance Chun Xinyu was still alive too. Tianlei scanned the area until his eyes locked onto a nearby Vandare. Relying on his webtoon survival tropes, Wu-bin tried to stop his suicidal heroics. It's a death wish. If you're going, I'm going to. Let me be your wingman. Tianlei grinned. He'd picked the right friend. But this spotlight? It had to belong to the protagonist. He left Wu-bin with one final request. Protect her for me. He reached the van. The keys were still inside. He slammed the gas, drifting straight into the undead horde. The vehicle spun in a violent circle, sending zombie limbs flying like a macabre carnival ride. Go, now's your chance. Wu-bin signaled the survivors on the stage to make their break. The class rep thought Wu-bin was her savior. But she was stunned to see Tianlei driving the carnage. She tried to rush to his aid, but Wu-bin held her back. This wasn't the time for foolishness. Save the hero later. He's my brother. I'm the only one who can get him out of this. They rendezvoused at the library as the zombies began smashing through the van's reinforced glass. Luckily, Tianlei escaped just in time, hiding behind an ancient tree. Suddenly, a hand grabbed his shoulder. He spun around, axe raised, to strike, until a familiar voice cried out, "It's Wu." Tianlei nearly had a heart attack. They both collapsed, their lungs burning as they exhaled in relief. Wu-bin confirmed the class rep had safely led the other survivors into the library's lockdown zone. "Man, you're a legend. We'd all be zombie chow without you." Tianlei just sighed. Heroism was exhausting. He couldn't just watch them die, especially with Chun Xinyu in danger. Mentioning her, Wu-bin didn't even notice her in the panicked crowd. But with guards surrounding Xinyu, the library was the only safe zone left. They crept past the horde, but Wu-bin's clumsy footstep echoed loudly. The undead snapped their heads toward the sound. They pounded on the library door. "Open up. Get lost. You'll bring them inside." The class rep tried to help, but that purple-haired degenerate. "Are you insane? Letting them in kills us all?" But they just saved us. Outside, the zombie horde was practically breathing down their necks. The class rep shoved him, but 𝐒𝐿-𝐈 responded with a brutal slap. "Use your brains," he screamed. "If they get in, we're all dead meat." Seeing his twisted manipulation, the class rep stood up and cursed his cowardice. He shoved her aside, seizing leadership. "If you want to die, go out alone." Outside, Wu-bin. If he got in, that bastard was becoming zombie food. Tianlei fought off the monsters while signaling for a desperate retreat. Wu-bin's eyes widened. There was nowhere left to hide in this hellhole. "Just follow me." Tianlei grabbed him, barely escaping the snapping jaws. "I'm sorry," Wu-bin whispered guilt. "My mistake drew the whole horde. Even without the noise, that snake wouldn't have opened the door. That's humanity." 𝐒𝐿-𝐈 was a coward with a grudge. This chaos just revealed his rot. Tianlei understood being bullied. That slap to the class rep. He would return it with interest. "But we can't even get through the front door. Now what?" "Improvise. Use the back." Tianlei vaulted through a window, smirking in victory. "Let's move, bruv." Inside the library, the survivors sat in grim silence. A girl confronted 𝐒𝐿-𝐈. The class rep felt a deeper sting, the chill and cowardice of the entire group. If anyone had backed her, 𝐒𝐿-𝐈 wouldn't have dared to strike. "If you're such a saint, why didn't you save them yourself?" 𝐒𝐿-𝐈 sneered. "Shut up. You had no right to hit her. Apologize now." He hated that class rep title. Don't push me, or you're next. Suddenly, 𝐶𝐿 appeared out of nowhere like a ghost. A devastating punch sent 𝐒𝐿𝐿 flying. He hit the floor, jaw shattered. Woo-bin grabbed his collar. You dog, why did you lock us out? We almost died out there. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 whimpered, still playing the victim card. He shoved Woo-bin back. The horde was right there. I saved everyone. He has a point, a few voices whispered. The sheep were being manipulated. You're safe now, aren't you? Stop fighting before you lure the zombies here. Woo-bin scoffed. This guy's manipulation skill was truly top-tier villainy. Only the class rep, 𝐶𝐿, welcomed them, her eyes filled with gratitude. 𝐶𝐿 saw her bruised face. SMAK, 2 brutal slaps. Debt paid in full. Touch her again. 𝐶𝐿 led 𝐶𝐿 away, leaving a humiliated 𝐒𝐿, seething in rage. 𝐶𝐿 watched his heroic silhouette, her heart racing and her cheeks flushing red. Class rep, you're flushed. Still hurting. 𝐶𝐿 shook her head, whispering a broken apology to her comrades. 𝐶𝐿 risked everything to save them, yet he was the one left suffering in the cold. NGO being sieved at 𝐿's name. A pathetic degenerate who once fell victim to school violence himself. 𝐶𝐿 hung her head. I failed everyone. I don't deserve the title of class representative anymore. 𝐶𝐿 and NGO then stood firm, insisting she would always be their leader, regardless of this. Tears blurred 𝐶𝐿's vision as she collapsed into 𝐶𝐿's arms, seeking warmth amidst the chaos. Why did the world collapse? The constant dread of being torn apart by zombies was suffocating. As long as I breathe, I will protect you. Her eyes sparked. Then call me 𝐶𝐿. Class is over. 𝐶𝐿 nodded solemnly before asking the one question haunting him. The question stung. The rumors of 𝐶𝐿's hidden affection for 𝐷𝐷𝐾 were clearly true. She was last seen surrounded by the undead horde. 𝐶𝐿's expression hardened into a mask of grim determination. 𝐶𝐿 reached for a phone to call home, but the system grid was dead. No signal remained. This zombie outbreak had gone global. Panic surged through 𝐶𝐿 as she feared for her parents' lives. Survival is the only quest now, 𝐶𝐿 whispered. Only the living get to see their families again. Hunger gnawed at their bellies. Nearby, survivors began to snap at each other like starving animals. Stop complaining and go outside if you're so hungry. 𝐿𝐿 barked, his patience finally hitting zero. A shouting match erupted. 𝐶𝐿 instinctively moved to mediate. But 𝐶𝐿's hand gripped her shoulder. It is useless. Did you forget how that coward 𝐿𝐿 treated you? Do not waste your breath. If she intervened, the mob would just demand her rations and blame her for their own miserable fate. She stayed back. Hours later, the group searched the library, but found not a single drop of water. The second floor, someone whispered. The librarian's office must have a hidden stash of supplies. At the stairs, they hit a wall. Thugs blocked the way while their boss sat reading with chilling calm. NGO Ben recognized the man immediately. It was Lam Mo, the last person they wanted to see here. 𝐶𝐿's eyes narrowed as the others recoiled. The atmospheric tension in the room turned bone-chillingly cold. Lammo was a high-tier predator at school, a tyrant whose very name made others tremble in fear. 𝐒𝐿 stepped forward, begging for scraps. Lammo closed his book and delivered a brutal, crushing kick. 𝐒𝐿 tumbled down the stone steps like a broken record, his cries echoing through the silent library. His girlfriend rushed to his side, regret washing over her. They should have never asked for help. Lammo sneered from his throne. Still playing house. The old world's rules are dead. In this new era, power is the only currency. He declared the staircase the boundary of his kingdom. Cross this line and die. He then began eating a fresh loaf of bread, taunting their starvation. I have everything you need, but if you want to eat, you will have to pay a steep price. Lammo's smile turned predatory. He looked at the girls, suggesting they trade their bodies for survival. 𝐒𝐿 cursed under his breath. This degenerate was actually trying to play king in a graveyard. Lammo dangled a piece of bread before 𝐒𝐿's girlfriend. Hungry? Beautiful? Why stay with a loser? Disgusted by his arrogance, she slapped the bread away. I would rather starve than touch a snake like you. Infuriated, Lammo grabbed her hair with violent force, his face twisting into a mask of pure malice. You dare defy me? 𝐸 could not take it anymore and lunged forward, screaming at the tyrant. The world is ending. We should be united, not stepping on each other to survive. Inspired by her courage, the other students found their voices. The class rep is right. Stop this. Her words fell on deaf ears. Lammo had always hated her authority back in the old world. There were no teachers left to protect her. In this lawless dungeon, Lammo held all the cards. He signaled his thugs. Strip her. Let us see how much pride she has without her clothes. The ball degenerates closed in. Terror finally broke through 𝐸's resolve as she realized her mistake. Suddenly, 𝐸 stepped forward, an axe gleaming in his hand. The predator had finally met his match. Look who it is. Still playing hero after yesterday's beating. 𝐸's gaze turned ice. Lammo's bullying days ended when the system awakened. Now, he was just a level 1 fly. The world has changed. If you think you are still the boss, step up and prove it. He swung his axe, shattering a nearby bookshelf. Lammo's crew froze, paralyzed by pure terror. The trembling lackeys whispered in fear, Boss, that blade looks dangerously sharp. We should run. Don't mess with this lunatic. Lammo backed away, pretending to respect their old-school ties. He claimed the second floor, leaving 𝐸 downstairs. A fragile, uneasy truce was finally formed. The food supply remained upstairs, out of reach. 𝐸 watched silently as Lammo retreated. Fuming, Lammo ordered a barricade. That loser found a weapon. Why are you idiots empty-handed? After that suffocating tension, their survival hung by a single, terrifyingly thin thread. 𝐸 nearly collapsed in despair. Human nature had rotted so quickly in this new world. Yesterday they were classmates, today mortal enemies. For 𝐸, this was the brutal new reality. During peacetime, these cowards hid behind the law, too afraid to show their true, ugly faces. Without rules, the inner darkness emerged. 𝐸 realized 𝐸 needed to stop being so naive. Playing the hero only creates more trouble. He could not keep cleaning up her messy mistakes. 𝐿 offered a comforting pat, though he lacked the actual courage to stand and fight. The hunger was real. Starvation would surely claim them long before the undead horde ever could. Directly confronting Lam Mo's gang was suicide. He could not protect everyone in a full-scale war. The heavy silence was suddenly broken by a loud, echoing, and very embarrassing stomach growl. Tudong blushed deeply. 𝐶𝐿 signaled his small team. Time to find some real food. A beautiful girl watched with envy. Hunger was a monster they all faced in this nightmare. 𝐿𝐒𝐿 scanned the empty, dusty halls in total despair. There is nothing to eat here. 𝐶𝐿 prepared to scout ahead. Guard this spot. I am heading to the cafeteria, alone, they immediately protested. Tudong grabbing his arm, terrified that he would never come back. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Just stay put. He stepped out into the dark, dangerous hallway. 𝐿𝐒𝐿 reassured her. 𝐶𝐿 was a true survivor. He would return, as he always did. The halls were crawling with the undead, yet 𝐶𝐿 moved with supernatural agility, bypassing them. He spotted a loot-filled backpack near 2 zombies. He instantly stored the items in his inventory. It was enough for 1 survivor, but 3 hungry mouths would drain it in mere seconds. Resources were becoming extremely scarce. He had to scavenge every scrap. While he still had time, as he sorted the supplies, a low growl behind him. A hideous, long-haired zombie. They were locked in a lethal, bone-crushing, and desperate embrace. To an outside observer, it almost looked like a twisted, post-apocalyptic dance of certain death. He split its skull, just in time. But the noise had alerted the entire nearby horde. He dove through a nearby window, landing squarely in the center of the school cafeteria. Talk about luck. He discovered a pot of steaming, freshly cooked rice, abandoned on a table. Back at the library, the others were growing desperate, consumed by overwhelming hunger and fear. A familiar knock echoed. 𝐶𝐿's voice shattered the heavy, suffocating atmosphere of pure despair. 𝐿𝐒𝐿 reached out, but Tudong charged forward. 𝐿𝐒𝐿 retreated silently. She had been on the verge of rushing out to find him. 𝐶𝐿's face flushed at the sudden contact, but he quickly focused on the main mission. He revealed his heavy pack, producing a steaming pot of rice. Survival starts with a meal. Plain white rice tasted like a royal feast. In this hell, a warm meal was legendary. Watching them eat brought him peace. It felt like he was taking care of stray pets. Aren't you eating? She asked. I already filled up back at the cafeteria, he lied smoothly. 𝐶𝐿 handed them the water, warning them to ration every drop. Fetching more is a death trap. Keep our stash secret, he hissed. In this hell, food is a death sentence if discovered. Tudong felt a wave of guilt. She couldn't swallow while her classmates starved nearby. Drop the saint act, class rep 𝐿𝐒𝐿 sighed. Mercy is a luxury we don't have. 𝐶𝐿 risked his life. If you share, these leeches will bleed us dry and turn on him. Tudong nodded, but their half-full rice pot was a massive liability in this room. 𝐶𝐿 acted fast, stashing the pot outside the hallway. Genius, 𝐿𝐒𝐿 laughed. Those cowards are too terrified of zombies to even open the door. They retreated to the common room, blending in to avoid any suspicion from the group. Chaos consumed the room as starving students groaned. Then Lam Mo appeared, mocking them from above. Hungry, since we're classmates, why don't you come upstairs and beg me for help? Scum, Tudong hissed, seeing his fake kindness. 𝐍𝐿𝐈 grabbed her arm before she could move. His golden rule was simple. Never get involved in other people's messy drama. But when Lam Mo mentioned Tam Duck, 𝐶𝐿𝐈, the degenerate was already circling her. I have premium supplies upstairs, Lam Mo purred. Don't suffer down here with the degenerates. The goddess is here, 𝐿𝐒𝐿 whispered. How did we miss her in this crowd? Tam Duke's manager. Lam Mo tossed a dry crust like a boss monster dropping trash. Come with me. I'll protect you from these hungry dogs. I'll be your shield. Tam Duck refused, her eyes sharp. Frustrated, Lam Mo grabbed her arm to force her away. She struggled, and 𝐶𝐿𝐈's killing intent fled. Lam Mo barked a threat at the manager. Back off, old lady. One more word, and I'll kick you into the hallway. Slap Tam Duck struck back. Don't think your crumbs make me your puppet, you coward. She threw the items back at his feet. Lam Mo's pride shattered in front of everyone. You're just a low-tier idol, he spat. Soon, you'll be crawling back to beg me. Trust no one. Ho, Tam Duck sighed. In this world, we only have ourselves. 𝐿𝐒𝐿 was floored. Wow. I thought idols were all about finding a sugar daddy. She's different, 𝐶𝐿𝐈 whispered, his eyes locked on her. She's a true survivor. You don't reach the top with high stats alone. It takes AI and will. Tudong teased him. Go be her hero. She'll fall for you, just like I did. 𝐶𝐿𝐈's respect grew. Her defiance proved she wasn't just another damsel in distress. Tudong decided to play wingman, silently rooting for 𝐶𝐿𝐈. I'm just a poor student with trash stats. She's light years out of my league. 𝐿𝐒𝐿 shoved him forward. It's the apocalypse. Classes don't matter now. 𝐶𝐿𝐈 stumbled toward her. Are you okay? Manager Ho. She was on high alert, shielding Tam Duck from any more predatory survivors. He raised his hands, showing a small stash of food and water. For you. Quiet, he hissed. Unless you want every starving ghost in here to swarm us. He handed over the items. I'm not like Lam Mo. I just want you to survive. Ration this carefully. And for heaven's sake, keep your inventory hidden. He turned and left without asking for a reward. Tam Duck watched him, her suspicion fading. Upstairs, a new snake appeared. Tian Hao approached Lam Mo's throne trembling. Lam Mo lounged like a king. What do you want? Tian Hao knelt, begging for entry. I'll be your loyal hound. Just give me a chance to serve the guild. Lam Mo sneered. Until Tian Hao. Forget Tam Duck then. If you need women, leave the supply to me. While Tam Duck eats, Sister Ho questions her connection to 𝐶𝐿𝐈. She sees a classmate, but the manager suspects a hidden system motive. In this apocalypse, food isn't free. Tam Duck hides her blushing face. Ho treats her like a sister, delivering a cold survival reality check. Monsters are lethal, but human degenerates are the true danger for beauties. Shielding her is impossible. She needs a powerful hunter to lean on. Tam Duke's mood darkens. She'd choose death over selling her body. I'm not talking about that scumbag Lam Mo. I'd never betray you. Ho mentions 𝐶𝐿𝐈 instead. Tam Duck blushes. As Ho smirks. 𝐶𝐿𝐈 is clueless, wondering why Tudong looks so utterly defeated. 𝐿𝐒𝐿 nudges him. Can't you smell the jealousy? You're socially hopeless. He noticed 𝐸-dong's silence during the food distribution. She's fuming. You're strong, but blind. Is a cold beauty better than our class rep? 𝐸-dong panics, desperately trying to silence 𝐒𝐿-bun's loud mouth. Suddenly, a crash. A girl falls from the second floor, dying instantly. It's the girl Tianhao took. Torture likely drove her to suicide. Lam-mo is no longer human. Speak of the devil, he appears. He's annoyed she died before sleeping with him. Tianhao agrees blindly. She wasn't fit to clean your shoes. I'll find someone prettier soon. 𝐸-loi's blood boils. 𝐒𝐿-bun quickly holds the warrior back. Fighting now is suicide. Angry, 𝐸-loi covers the corpse with his coat. I swear, every monster responsible for this will pay in blood. Enraged by the curse, Lam-mo orders his thugs to swarm him. Tianhao watches closely. They've picked a fight with the wrong man. They fear his father, but a united floor could end Lam-mo's reign. Lam-mo snarls. One day, I'll make you crawl and beg for mercy. That night, a crash. Outside, hungry zombies howl for fresh blood. Boys, do something. In this hell, it's every man for himself. Backpack on, 𝐸-loi takes charge. Stop arguing, and barricade that door. The group rallies, frantically piling heavy furniture against the entrance. 𝐸-loi remembers the unguarded door. Suddenly, the corpse reanimates as a zombie. 𝐸-dong screams in terror. Have these monsters already begun to evolve? 𝐒𝐿-bun recalls movies. She was bitten earlier. The virus just awakened. Silence shatters. Panic erupts as everyone scrambles away from the beast. A student falls. 𝐸-loi's axe splits the zombie's skull instantly. Out of the frying pan, ... the back door falls. The horde floods in. Pure chaos. Humans and monsters clash in a bloody scramble for life. Protect 𝐸-dong. 𝐸-loi shouts, leading the charge through the crowd. They reach the faculty room, banging desperately on Lam-mo's barricaded door. Lam-mo refuses entry. Get lost if you don't want to be eaten. In the frenzy, Tam-duck is separated. Suddenly, a hand pulls her. It's 𝐸-loi. Stay close. She nods. They burst into a nearby room. It's just the men's restroom. Sister Ho is fuming. How do you students not know the layout? Outside, the horde was clawing at the door. Panic filled the cramped room. Ho wailed, refusing to die in a men's room. 𝐸-loi tracked the monster's movement. 𝐸-loi hoisted 𝐒𝐿-bun up to scout the high window. Good news, the coast was clear and a getaway car was parked nearby. 𝐒𝐿-bun dropped down first. Tam-duck followed, whispering a quick thank you. 𝐸-loi's face flushed red. He had never been this close to her. He became a human ladder. Ho landed like a pro while yelling at him. 𝐸-dong was the last one, but she hesitated. How will you get out? The window was too high for one person. 𝐸-loi insisted he had a plan. Tell me your secret, or I'm staying here to die with you. He snapped. Her class president complex was going to get them both killed. A fragile girl with no combat skills would only be a burden to him. His harsh words stung. 𝐸-dong wept as she finally climbed through the window. I love you, please survive. She kissed his cheek before disappearing outside. Stunned by the sudden affection, 𝐸-loi gave a firm, silent nod. The barricade shattered. 𝐸-loi threw his weight against the door to buy time. Tudong scrambled away in tears, likely regretting the time she'd wasted arguing. "Get them to safety," 𝐶𝐿 yelled. "I'll find you guys later." He was at his limit, but his iron will refused to let him buckle. He gripped his axe. "Think you can eat me? Come and get it." The group reached the car. Tudong blocked 𝐒𝐒𝐒 from starting the engine. "We can't leave him," Ho screamed as the library swarm drew closer. That library was a ticking time bomb of pure undead carnage. "He's probably dead already. We have to move now," Ho shouted realistically. 𝐒𝐒𝐒 grit his teeth. 𝐶𝐿's sacrifice couldn't be for nothing. Tudong tried to run back, but 𝐒𝐒𝐒 grabbed her arm tight. "He trusted me to protect you. I won't let you throw your life away. Trust him, he'll find a way." Tudong collapsed, sobbing into her hands. How could a lone human survive against a sea of rotting monsters? 𝐒𝐒𝐒 patted her shoulder. "Believe in him. He's the protagonist of this story." Rain began to fall. Inside, 𝐶𝐿 collapsed amidst a mountain of zombie corpses. A system alert flashed. Viral infection detected. Vital signs dropping to critical. He grabbed the evolution serum. "I really got bit over a girl, huh?" He held a glowing green vial. This wasn't a vaccine. It was pure virus. If this failed, he would transform into something far worse than a zombie. He jammed the needle into his arm. Minutes passed. Was the system broken? Suddenly, a white-hot agony tore through his body. He tried to hold it in, but a primal scream escaped his lungs. Morning came. 𝐶𝐿. "Wounds gone. Call me your sovereign system from now on." The ring boasted Eric. "Evolution complete. Private, second class. Stats increased, and inventory space expanded to level 3. "Am I unstoppable now?" 𝐶𝐿 asked. The ring just scoffed at him. "There are 19 ranks, kid. From marshal down to lowly soldier. You're at the very bottom of the food chain." A total bottom-tier grunt. Despite the level up, 𝐶𝐿 felt like he was still weak as hell. A savior? Don't make me laugh. With those weak stats, you couldn't save a fly, let alone the world. This ring is bizarre. Usually, a normal human would only qualify for rank 3 private status, at most. But since you've cleared so many zombies before turning, the system granted you a special rank to promotion. No freebies here. 1 kill equals 1 point. You'll need 150 points to trigger your next Our hero needs to butcher 150 more zombies. He tries to haggle, but the system interface ghosts him. She does this every time, disappearing mid-sentences, she in a rush to go give birth or something. He scouts for a test subject. Even at the bottom tier, he can feel his physical stats reaching new heights. He winds up a punch against a massive stone pillar. One strike, and the solid concrete shatters, like glass. If rank 2 is this beastly, a Grand Marshal must be Saitama level. Strangely, the area is eerily quiet today. Tianlei begins searching the perimeter, looking for any lucky survivors who manage to hide from the horde. The second floor is a ghost town. The librarian's office is surprisingly luxurious talk about living like a king. He takes a quick rinse, savoring a rare moment of peace before the next wave of chaos hits. He flips on the news. It's official. A global zombie apocalypse. Over half the population has already turned. Their aggression is off the charts. One tiny scratch from these degenerates, and you're a monster in seconds. Luckily, the military is establishing safe zones. At least the government isn't as brain-dead as the ones in movies. Suddenly, a thud echoes from the closet. He grips his axe, ready to cleave whatever's lurking inside. He's not afraid of anything now. A voice screams from the shadows. "Spare me." A traumatized girl cringes inside. He lowers his weapon and softens his tone. "Relax. I'm human, not a zombie." She collapses, sobbing uncontrollably. Based on her state, she's clearly witnessed some soul-crushing horrors. Her name is 𝐒𝐒𝐒. She was just at the library with friends when the outbreak turned into a nightmare. Trapped and starving, a guy named 𝐒𝐒𝐒 promised them food from the librarian's hidden stash. They followed him blindly, only to be betrayed by those scumbags. Her friend couldn't take the abuse and jumped. That must be the same female zombie he saw earlier. 𝐒𝐒𝐒 got lucky, otherwise she would have been bitten by her own best friend. She hid when the horde arrived. The villains fled through the window when the coast was clear, but the last one was ripped apart. Too terrified to jump, she stayed hidden in the cabinet until our main character finally discovered her. He realizes those library thugs are total degenerates. As she calms down, she asks, "Are you Zhao Tianlei? The one who stood up to 𝐒𝐒𝐿 and his gang of bullies in the library yesterday?" Her spirit lifts as she praises his bravery. However, since he's half naked, she didn't recognize him at first. He panics, covering himself in a hurry. "My bad, I just finished showering and forgot my clothes." After dressing, he offers her bread and water. She weeps with gratitude. She was a hair's breadth from starvation. Even in the apocalypse, hygiene comes first. She needs to wash off the sweat and the trauma. She heads for the bath to scrub away the nightmare. She emerges shortly after, wrapped only in a towel. Looking at his broad, powerful back, her heart skips a beat. Is he the protector she's been praying for? He shuts his eyes tight, awkwardly offering more food. She starts crying again, leaving him totally helpless. He's never met a girl who could produce this many tears. She's like a human waterfall. She sobs an apology. She can't stop thinking about her friend who died for a single piece of bread. She's drowning in guilt, but he reminds her the blame lies solely with those human monsters. Besides, her friend had already turned. Even without the fall, her fate was sealed by the virus. Suddenly, she clings to his arm, playing the damsel in distress. She won't let go of her only lifeline. The world is full of monsters now. I don't know how to survive this. He tells her not to worry. He gently creates some space. The military is building bases. We just need to survive until we reach one. You can come with me if you want. Her face lights up instantly, as if she hit the jackpot. He grabs some spare clothes for her, but before he can speak, she pulls him into a sudden kiss. His danger sensors He leaps back, 5 feet, guard fully up. What the hell was that? Thanzhao's sacrifice was no accident. I've nothing left to give. But myself? 𝐿 felt his blood pressure hit the ceiling. Seriously. How many old-school dramas did this girl watch to drop a line that cheesy? She was dead serious. Reject me, or I'm sticking to you forever. A true soulbind contract. His face was crimson. Is this your first kiss? She teased, sensing his hidden trait. Pure heart. Busted. He tried to play it cool, claiming he was a legendary Casanova back in grade school. She was a pro at this, making 𝐿 flustered. Had become her favorite daily quest. Watching him struggle was pure entertainment. Suddenly, the PA system crackled. Is anyone there? We're trapped. 𝐿's survival instincts flared. This wasn't a rescue mission. It was a tactical disaster. Those idiots were broadcasting dinner bells. The horde was coming. Inside the room, survivors huddled in terror. Outside, the undead shrieked. 𝐿, over here, is that a hunter? Praise the heavens, we're saved. Their shouting nearly gave him a heart attack. Shut it. Give me a sit rep. The entire building was a level 5 death zone. He tossed them a rope. Secure it and descend. Fast and quiet. Stealth was the primary objective. An old man went first, followed by the rest of the fodder. Then came a total coward. His grip failed, and he crashed into the dirt. His scream awakened the entire horde. Run or die. They scrambled for a lone car in the lot. Absolute chaos in the ranks. 𝐿 tried to organize them, but 𝐿 turned into a degenerate. He shoved others aside, weeping for his own life. The group turned cold. You lured the monsters with your big mouth. Get out! Betrayal was the new meta. 𝐿 chose to stay behind. Those survivors were low-tier trash who'd backstab them at the first sign of a boss. In a world like this, fake allies are more dangerous than the zombies themselves. 𝐿 agreed. Scram, you ungrateful cowards! I should have let the walkers have you. The engine roared as they fled, leaving their savior in the dust. Hand in hand, the duo vanished, finding sanctuary in a convenience store for a legendary meal. Even in the apocalypse, a steaming bowl of noodles felt like a divine drapedum. She scavenged some sausages, and, ham, try this. I hope it's good. He offered her the first bite. Then, she dropped a bombshell that made him choke on his food. I'm your woman now. It's my job to serve you. 𝐿 panicked. If Tudong heard this, he was finished. She couldn't understand his hesitation. In her eyes, a life debt meant a lifelong bond. He patted her shoulder. I didn't save you for a reward. It's just what I do. A true protagonist's creed. He didn't want a servant, but she wasn't backing down. She was ready to offer everything. She closed her eyes, waiting for a kiss. He pushed her away, and the waterworks started instantly. Do you hate me? No, just ... Don't cry. My social stats can't handle this. He already had someone in his heart. She guessed it immediately. It's Tudong, isn't it? You protected her at the library. That was different. He countered. She stood by me first. Then who? She pressed. Blushing, he finally whispered a name. 𝐿. She shrieked in disbelief. The rising star idol? You're dating a celebrity. 𝐿 winced. Just a one-sided crush, he admitted. I'm just a Lorank nobody. I knew it, she sighed. Her words stung like a critical hit. But she continued, wealth and status mean nothing in this new world. Zombies don't care about bank accounts. You have S-rank potential. 𝐿. When you reach the top, every woman will want you, not just some idol. He just laughed. Are you suggesting a harem build? Her dead serious expression left him speechless. The storm had passed, but the truth remained. Raw power is the only currency left. To survive, you need a strong lead. Unless you kick me out, I'm sticking to you like a permanent buff. She went right back to being clingy. If not a lover, she'd be his loyal maid. He didn't get her logic, but he vowed to protect her regardless. Seriously. You're the absolute best. Zhao chirped, planting a sudden kiss on Loi's cheek. Hours later, they scouted a supermarket, discovering a hidden cache of luxury vehicles tucked away in the dark basement. Zhao let out a mocking laugh. Could this degenerate really be related to the principal of the academy? Zhao pointed at a sleek VF6. It's spacious, stable, and its performance output crushes every other car here. As a hardcore Venfast fan, her knowledge was absolute. Soon, the electric beast was roaring down the open road. This machine is perfection. Cal-faced. This gentle girl was a total speed demon. Zhao's ultimate dream had always been to pilot a high-end Venfast, just once in her entire life. Ironically, the apocalypse made it happen. Back at base, Loi unfurled a tattered map to plot their survival route. The signal flickered violently. Before they could find the safe zone's coordinates, the screen cut to black. Suddenly, 3 shadows lunged forward like starving zombies. Zhao braked as 3 strangers begged for a rescue. We barely escaped. If you leave us, we're dead. The desperate trio scrambled into the vehicle at last. The girl interrogated Loi about their destination. He shot her a cold glare. Who are you people, anyway? She claimed the thugs were her lover and brother. Caught outside just as the undead outbreak reached peak chaos. Their getaway vehicle had broken down on the highway. Terrified, they hid inside their wreck. Until they spotted Loi's car and signaled for a desperate rescue. You two are a couple, right? Zhao nodded happily, glad someone recognized their obvious chemistry. The girl smirked, assuming they had looted the car. Her eyes then locked onto Loi's tactical backpack. You've got food, don't you? We haven't eaten in 24 hours. Could you spare some supplies for us? She offered a watch to trade, but Loi threw them 3 sausages instead. The punk scowled in disgust. Your bag is huge. Zhao, however, wasn't about to let the insults slide. Food is more precious than gold now. If you don't like the charity, get out of the car. The thug's face darkened with rage until his sister intervened. This unstable trio was a ticking time bomb. Moments later, they passed a wreck being swarmed by zombies. Loi narrowed his eyes at the doomed passengers. It was the group from the radio room. Their frantic escape had ended in a gruesome flipped car disaster. Karma is a bitch, Loi muttered. That's the price for betraying the people who tried to save you. The girl warned that the downtown area was crawling with zombies, suggesting they take an alternate route instead. Loi agreed, but since their paths were diverged, he ordered the 3 strangers to exit the car immediately. Listen, dog, do as I say, or I'll blow your brains out. A gun barrel pressed against Loi's skull. Who are you people really? Loi's voice remained calm despite the lethal weapon aimed at his head. The woman smiled. Since you saved us, we'll let you live. Just leave the car and the food. My brother has a nasty temper and 3 kills already. Don't make him add to more today. The punk cocked his weapon. Why talk? Let's just shoot them. His sister slapped him hard. Gunshots draw zombies, you idiot. She then turned back to Zhao with a terrifyingly fake, sweet smile. Sweetie, unless you want your boyfriend's head to pop, pull over now. The car continued racing forward. Zhao's mind was a whirlwind of panic. The stakes were rising, and her heart hammered against her ribs. If they lost the car, they were bait. But if she resisted, Loi would die. What should she do? Loi finally gave in to their demands. Fine. But you'd better keep your word. The woman grinned wickedly. Don't worry. In our line of work, we never break a promise. Loy looked at his companion. Dao, pull over. It's not worth dying for a piece of metal. Following his lead, Zhao slammed the brakes, bone-chillingly quiet stretch of road. As they stepped out, the punk barked a final command. The guy goes, but the girl stays. Zhao's blood ran cold at the demand. Even the lead thug in the car was confused by the request. What are you doing? Why do we need a hostage? She's just dead weight to us. The punk retorted with a sneer. You've got your sister, but I'm bored and lonely out here. He eyed Zhao hungrily. She's a prize. Having her for entertainment will make this apocalypse much better. Pure terror gripped Trin Zhao, making her tremble uncontrollably as the situation spiraled out of control. She stammered Thien Loy's name. He remained silent, then firmly grabbed her hand to leave. Enraged by the cold shoulder, the thug jumped out. Aiming his gun, he roared, "You're dead meat." But Thien Loy moved first, slicing off his hand. The thug stared in pure shock at his severed limb. Thien Loy stood drenched in killing intent. Who were you going to shoot? Thien Loy asked coldly. Seeing her brother down, the girl attacked. You hurt my brother. Her mohawked boyfriend also drew his weapon, seeking revenge. Just another weakling, he sneered. Trin Zhao cried out in panic, Thien Loy. Calmly Thien Loy floored the punk, then snatched the gun to disarm the girl mid. The gunshot echoed through the silence, sending the girl into a breakdown of terrified tears. Meanwhile, Thien Loy was stunned by his own newfound strength and terrifyingly sharp reflexes. Since the evolution virus awakening, his senses were heightened and his movements became fluidly lethal. Is this the power of evil? The girl, knowing she stood no chance, begged for mercy. Boss, we were wrong. Please, we only did this to survive. We don't deserve death. Her brother groaned nearby as she scrambled for excuses. Thien Loy just looked on in disgust. So you force others to die just to live? Quite the twisted logic, he spat back. What choice did I have? She whimpered. I'm just a helpless girl caught in this. She blamed her fallen boyfriend. We were good people, but he forced us into this life. Now that he's gone, we're finally free. Please, just let us go this once. She pleaded desperately. Spare us, and I'll do anything you want. Anything at all. Trin Zhao scoffed at her shamelessness. Thien Loy paused. Anything you say? Thinking she had a hook, she eagerly nodded. Yes, absolutely anything you desire, master. She crawled closer, whispering seductively. That young girl with you. She's clearly just an amateur. You need a woman with experience. Let me serve you. I'll make it worth your while. Thien Loy smirked coldly. Fine. I won't kill either of you myself today. Trin Zhao gasped. Thien Loy, you can't be serious. But he cut her off immediately. But I don't need your services. He took Trin Zhao's hand. The gunshots will draw zombies. He led her back to the car, calmly pronouncing their death sentence, without looking back once. Stay here and enjoy the fun coming your way. It's exactly what you deserve. The girl's face turned pale as the engine roared, leaving them alone in the dead silence. A noise behind her made her turn. A swarm of ravenous zombies was closing in fast. Among the horde was their former teacher. The girl let out a blood-curdling final scream. Only desperate cries echoed down the highway. Inside the car, 𝐶𝐿 noticed 𝐶𝐿 shaking. Concerned, he asked her gently, "Did that scare you? I'm sorry you had to see that. I didn't want to kill, but if I hadn't acted, we'd be the ones dead now. I know it's terrifying, but this is our new reality. You have to stay strong." 𝐶𝐿 replied softly, "I understand. Zombies are scary, but people like them. They make me sick to my very soul. They got what they deserved. I'll be strong, 𝐶𝐿. I won't hold you back." Seeing her resolve to adapt to this hell, he offered a simple, encouraging nod. "Yeah. But her fear wasn't about him killing. It's not the violence that scares me. It's the memory of the library," she whispered, her eyes distant and full of pain. "Back then, everyone only cared for themselves. I was weak, just watching people abandon me. Not a single person looked back. In this world, the weak are truly left to rot. I'm paralyzed by the thought of history repeating. The fear of dying alone consumes me. To survive, I must awaken and grow stronger than ever before. I will become his indispensable partner, someone he can never afford to lose. Survival demands power." With that chilling thought, 𝐶𝐿 slammed the accelerator, racing against fate. Minutes later, she pointed ahead. 𝐶𝐿. A graveyard of abandoned steel blocked their path. 𝐶𝐿 stepped out to scout. The gridlock was absolute a mechanical tomb for the desperate. The road ahead was a dead end. People had clearly abandoned their lives here, fleeing on foot into the unknown. "The city center is just ahead," he noted. "We move on foot." Without hesitation, he gripped 𝐶𝐿's hand, leading her through the wreckage. 𝐶𝐿's voice trembled in the eerie silence. 𝐶𝐿, the air feels wrong. Not a soul. Not even a monster. "Is it ghosts?" she whispered. 𝐶𝐿 smirked. "Ghosts. Honestly, I'd prefer a ghost right now. At least ghosts are cuter than those brain-eating monsters." 𝐶𝐿 snapped back, her nerves frayed. "Stop it, both are terrifying." Suddenly, a sharp rustle echoed through the shadows. Draining the color from her face, she lunged toward 𝐶𝐿, screaming in terror, "A ghost! It's a ghost!" But it wasn't a phantom, just a stray cat, startled by her scream, staring back with wide, glowing eyes. The cat vanished into the darkness. 𝐶𝐿 gasped, clutching her chest. That nearly stopped my heart. 𝐶𝐿 exhaled. "You nearly killed me with that scream." Suddenly, his gaze sharpened on the distance. "Wait. What is it?" she asked. His reply was cold. "I hear the undead." He pulled her into a tactical hiding spot. "It's not just one," he whispered. "A massive horde is converging." 𝐶𝐿's heart raced. "Don't scare me." "I don't hear anything at all. Everything is so deathly quiet. If there were monsters, wouldn't we see them by now?" He didn't waste a second, pulling her forward. "Stay low, stay quiet." His awakened instincts were screaming. He knew the threat was lurking just behind the next corner. "A horde that size only gathers for one reason," he muttered. "They've cornered some survivors." Inside the city, a sea of monsters surged against the supermarket's glass doors. The barricades were buckling under the pressure. "Move those shelves." "Now," a survivor barked. "If they breach this line, we're all dead." From a hidden vantage point, 𝐒𝐊𝐈 and 𝐀𝐍𝐊 watched the nightmare unfold. So many of them, ... she breathed. 𝐒𝐊𝐈 spotted a strategic opening. That shop, over there, we can get a clear view of the interior from its roof. Below, the survivors finished sealing the entrance, creating a fragile sanctuary amidst the chaos. A young girl whimpered, "Brother, it hurts." ... 𝐒𝐒𝐒 gripped her hand. "No, stay with me. Once we escape, I'll find a doctor. I promise, you're going to be okay." An old man noticed the bite mark on the girl's arm and pointed an accusing finger at 𝐒𝐒𝐒. "She's been bitten. Why are you still holding on to a corpse? Do you want to get us all slaughtered?" The crowd turned like wolves, their fear morphing into cruelty. "Get out with her. Don't drag us down to hell." High above, 𝐒𝐊𝐈 watched the degenerate behavior of the survivors. A woman named Lan stepped forward, her face twisted in disgust. "Are you insane, 𝐒𝐒𝐒? Why cling to that thing? Do you want to wait until she turns and rips your throat out?" 𝐒𝐒𝐒 looked at her, devastated. "Lan, how can you say that? She's my sister. My own blood." The mob's rejection was absolute. Blood means nothing now. We've all lost family. Why should she be any different? I watched my parents get torn apart. A man screamed. My sister was eaten alive, right in front of me. I only survived because I ran. Lan seized the moment, pressuring 𝐒𝐒𝐒 to commit the unthinkable. "Finish it. Behead her now before she turns into a monster and kills us all." 𝐒𝐒𝐒 roared in agony. "How can you be so heartless? She was bitten because she saved your life." He pleaded for justice. "She loved you. She looked up to you as her future citizen. When that monster lunged at you, she didn't hesitate. She threw herself into the jaws of death for you." Lan's expression remained ice-cold, filled with pure contempt. "Sister-in-law. She never deserved that title," she sneered. "Look at your pathetic, penniless state. You were always beneath me. I only tolerated your presence because I heard you were getting land rewards. Don't flatter yourself. A degenerate like you dreaming of me, he chose to get bitten. It has nothing to do with me. I owe you nothing. From this moment on, all ties between us are permanently severed. Stop clinging to me." Her audacity left Suyang trembling with a rage he couldn't even voice. In that moment, his little sister whispered softly, "Big brother, don't worry about me. Let them do it. I don't want to become a hideous monster." Lan smirked, shouting, "See? Even she wants to die. Kill her now before it's too late." The mob surged forward. "Right. Get out of the way. Stalling more will get you killed too." Suyang growled, "Touch her and I'll drag you to hell." A pink-haired thug lunged at him, but Suyang snatched him by the collar like a stray dog. With raw power, he slammed the arrogant fool into the concrete floor. The crowd froze in terror at the sight. Lan shrieked out a desperate warning. "Careful, he's a top-tier martial artist. You can't win alone. Everyone, attack him at once." Watching from above, Cheng Zhao's blood boiled with indignation at the scene. That woman is pure trash. He saved her life, and she treats him like discarded junk. And this mob, ... They have zero humanity, just a pack of selfish cowards and degenerates. She turned to the MC. "Tianlei, don't risk your life for these people. Let's just leave." Tianlei smirked, except for one. Chang Jia realized his intent, but she felt the sister's fate was already sealed by the bite. If she turns, she'll kill everyone. Isn't he being selfish for clinging to a doomed girl? Tianlei watched the chaos and explained the core of his decision. The mob acts out of fear, but he fights for blood. Is there no difference to you? He observed Su Yong's desperate defense. A man this loyal is a rare find in this hell. He would sacrifice his life for his kin. That's the kind of comrade I need. The word comrade startled her. Tianlei, you mean? He replied calmly, the world has changed. Zombies aren't the only monsters we have to face now. He revealed his hidden strategy to her, a plan forged for the new world order. To protect what matters, I need an elite squad. I can't conquer this tower alone. I'm scouting for high-tier talent among the ruins. I'm building my own legendary guild. This is my true mission. His words finally explained his calculated actions from before. She realized his kindness at the school was actually a quest to find worthy allies. Below, the mob finally pinned Su Yang down. He thrashed like a cornered beast. Bastards, let go. He roared at the cowards. Touch my sister and I'll kill every last one. A thug kicked him, sneering. Big talk for a dead man. You're next on the list. I'll take her head first, then yours. He drew a blade and stepped toward the girl. The sister cried out weakly. At that moment, the bloodthirsty crowd began to howl. They cheered for the pink-haired coward. Kill her. Finish it now. End them both. Su Yang begged, please, not her. But the thug ignored his cries and raised the weapon. Suddenly, the glass window exploded inward, raining shards down like a storm of diamonds. The chaos froze. Tianlei stepped through the ruins. Quite a lively party you have here. The appearance of the two strangers sent the crowd into a frantic frenzy. Survivors. They're here to save us. We're surrounded, get us out of here, immediately. Tianlei cut them off coldly. Hold on. There are too many of you. I'm only saving one. The crowd went silent, their faces twisted in confusion. Just ... one person. The bald leader stepped forward, waving a bribe. Kid, save me. I'll pay you anything. I'm a wealthy CEO, I'll pay. Lan screams, save me. I'm too young to die. The old man snaps, hurling insults. You young degenerates are useless, trash. Society doesn't need you. Who's trash? You fat creep, you touched me. You're garbage. Their bitter bickering leaves Trinjiao and 𝐒𝐿. Axe it and you pig. Own up to your filth, old man. Time is wasting. 𝐒𝐿 barks. Want to bring your sister and follow me out? Everyone freezes. Huck, Duong dazes. Why? 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 Save me. A man screams, are you insane, kid? Look at her. She's bitten. She turned. 𝐒𝐿 smirks. I'm not afraid. Zombies are everywhere anyway. Trinjiao watches, completely baffled. Tick-tock, Huck Duong. Are you coming or staying here? I'm in, Huck Duong shouts. 𝐒𝐿 drops the rope. I'll leave the rope. Your survival is your own problem. The path is there. Use it or die. It's yours. Seeing them escape, Lan wails, Huck Duong, take me t. I was just scared. I didn't mean those awful words. You know I love your sister. I'd never hurt her. Huck Duong, I love you. We were supposed to marry. You loved my stocks, not me. We're finished. Lan. Save yourself. He turns his back, protecting his sister. You bastard, she shrieks. How dare you leave me here? 𝐀𝐍𝐿 catches the girl. Steady now, 𝐒𝐊𝐈 whispers. Need a hand? 𝐒𝐿𝐈 ignores him, landing alone. Quite the character, 𝐒𝐊𝐈 muses. 𝐒𝐿𝐈 clutches her. Black blood ... The infection is peaking. She's turning fast. She's a ticking time bomb. We can't bring her. 𝐒𝐿𝐈 flinches, his gaze darkening at her cold words. I won't burden you, 𝐒𝐿𝐈 growls. 𝐒𝐊𝐈 blocks him. I didn't save you just to watch you walk away. No thank you, how cold. 𝐒𝐿𝐈's footsteps falter. Zombies are everywhere. You won't last a block alone. Follow us. We find safety first, then we decide. 𝐒𝐿𝐈 nods grimly. Fine. Lead the way then. Warehouse floor? It hurts. ... She whimpers. 𝐒𝐿𝐈 holds her. Stay with me. I'll find a doctor, I promise. 𝐶𝐍𝐿 scoffs. Stop lying. Look at the world. No doctor can save her. Why give her false hope? Enough, 𝐶𝐍𝐿. 𝐒𝐊𝐈 snaps, eyes narrowing dangerously. 𝐒𝐊𝐈 barks. 𝐶𝐍𝐿 just rolls her eyes. 𝐒𝐊𝐈 looks at the girl, a heavy silence falling. If only I had the evotion item. Poor kid. 𝐒𝐊𝐈 rises. If you want her suffering to end... He hands 𝐒𝐿𝐈 an axe. Free her, 𝐒𝐿𝐈. As the protagonist prepares to execute the girl, Su Yang's face turns deathly pale. He pulls his sister into a desperate hug, screaming, You're just like them. You all want her dead. Listen up. Even if she turns into a degenerate zombie, I won't let anyone touch her. If you want to lay a hand on her, you'll have to kill me first. Zhao tries to reason with his stubbornness, but the sister's weak voice cuts through the tension. Brother... Double quotes. They are good people. Please, stop fighting. Her fragility shatters. With her final strength, she tells him he was right to protect her. But I don't want to become a monster. Biting people like a zombie is a fate worse than death. Realizing her time is up, she tearfully pleads, Brother, please... You have to help me. Unable to save her, Su Yang wails, in agony. I failed to protect you. Suddenly, she turns to Tianlei, whispering a soft plea. Big brother, can I ask one favor? My brother looks scary, but he's actually a kind, clumsy fool. He wears his heart on his sleeve and fights without thinking. With her last breath, she leaves a final quest for Tianlei. I won't be here anymore... Can you look after him for me? Tianlei promises, I'll watch over him. I won't let him fail. Next, the little sister turns back to give Su Yang her final instructions. Brother, Sister Land doesn't love you. You'll find a girl who truly does. You promised to take us all traveling when you got married. I really wanted to go. Promise me, take your future wife instead. I'll be watching over you both from heaven. Crushed by the weight of her words, Su Yang. I promise. To seal the deal, she raises a finger, pinky swear. He grips it, weeping. Okay, pinky swear. The two siblings lock fingers, and with a peaceful look, The girl finally stops breathing. Su-yang screams her name in total despair. "Sister, what's wrong?" Su-yang cries. "Zhao pales. It's too late." She's turning into a zombie. Instantly Tianlei shoves an axe towards Su-yang. Do you want to see her become the monster she hated? She's a degenerate now. Su-yang wavers, then throws the axe aside. "I can't do it. She's my precious sister." The sight leaves Tianlei and Zhao horrified. In a flash, Tianlei strikes her down to end the crisis. "I'm sorry," he mutters. Later, they cremate her body, standing in silence as the flames consume the past. Clutching her hair clip. "I'll survive this hell for you. I swear, when this apocalypse ends, I'll travel the world and fulfill your final wish." He turns to Tianlei with a look of resolve. "Is it really okay if I follow you?" Tianlei smiles. It was her final wish. He offers a hand in partnership. Su-yang stays silent for a moment before firmly shaking his hand. By nightfall, they reach a derelict hotel. Zhao picks a room, satisfied with the find. This place isn't bad. It's got everything we need, and the bathroom is actually clean. As she and Tianlei head inside, he notices Su-yang, hesitating at the threshold. "Don't just stand there." "Get in." Su-yang enters shyly. "Still don't know your names." "We're students from Central China Commerce Academy," Tianlei introduces casually. "I'm Zhao Tianlei, and this is Zhao." She gives a polite wave. "Nice to meet you. I'm a year older, so you can call me Tianlei or Big Brother Lei." Zhao suddenly leans in. "So, what's your story? Tell us how you met that land girl. I'm curious. You're so naive, and she clearly wasn't a saint. You two didn't match at all. Seriously, how did you two even end up as a couple?" Su-yang holds nothing back. He grew up in the sticks. An orphan with only his little sister to rely on. Relying on his martial arts training, he worked as a combat instructor just to put food on the table for her. He recounts meeting Lan Lan, a girl introduced by a relative. He always wondered why a beauty like her chose a guy like him. Today, the brutal truth finally came to light. Then, the tragedy of his sister's infection. During a park walk, the zombie outbreak erupted. Lan tripped while they fled. To shield her, his little sister took the bite intended for Lan. They escaped into the supermarket with the others. You know the rest of the nightmare that followed. Cheng Jia fumes with rage. That woman is absolutely revolting. To think Lan claimed the injury wasn't her fault. A traitor like that deserves to be zombie. She comforts him. "Don't sweat it. You're a catch with those martial skills. You'll find a real woman soon enough." Her words make the tough martial artist blush, like a schoolboy. But then, she clings to Tianlei, declaring her heart is already taken. Tianlei can only sigh at her antics. Suddenly, his heightened senses pick up a sound. Something is moving nearby. He signals them to be quiet and cracks the door. The hallway is crawling with the undead. Panic hits Cheng Jiao instantly. How did those monsters get inside this safe zone? Su-yang is baffled. He'd personally checked every shutter and door in the hotel before they settled in. Tianlei remains ice-cold, his eyes narrowing. They were likely hiding in the rooms before we arrived. The numbers are low. Come on, Su-yang. Let's clear the floor so we can actually get some sleep. Su-yang's heart skips a beat in pure shock. Wait, you want us to go out there? His face turns pale. You're kidding, right? 𝐂𝐁𝐎𝐃 just cheers him on from the sidelines. The two men step out, weapons drawn. Tianlei flashes a predator's grin. "I'll go easy on you, since it's your first hunt. I'll take the guys, you handle the female zombies." Stung by the challenge, Su Yang tries to protest. They lunge in unison. Tianlei barks a command. "Brace yourself." The battle starts now. With a clean strike, Tianlei drops a zombie. Suddenly, a blue system window flickers before his eyes. 1 point gained. The joy of the grind hits him. This isn't just survival, it's a game with hidden stats. Just like a VR MMO, this is incredible. This system is the ultimate power-up. His body hums with evolved power. It's an endless fountain of strength coursing through his veins. Meanwhile, Su Yang is struggling. He raises his weapon, but freezes when he sees a zombie that looks like his sister. Hesitation is fatal. He gasps her name as the monster slams him to the floor. He barely manages to grip its throat, stopping the teeth from sinking in while pinning its rotting arms. Tianlei hears the struggle. "Don't be a fool. Just pinning it won't save you. Kill it." But Su Yang is paralyzed by grief and trauma, unable to deliver the finishing blow to the creature. His hesitation draws the rest of the pack. 𝐂𝐁𝐎𝐃 screams in terror, "Watch out!" "Behind you?" She hurls a random object, but the zombie sidesteps. Now, the monsters have a new target. She freezes for a second before slamming the door shut. Tianlei roars at the hesitating warrior. "Su Yang, what the hell are you doing? Finish it now." I can't do it," Su Yang cries out, his warrior spirit completely broken by his past. Disgusted Tianlei steps in. He clears the remaining zombies alone, leaving none standing in his wake. 𝐂𝐁𝐎𝐃 notices Su Yang is still pinned and pleads with Tianlei. "Tianlei, help him. He's at his limit." But Tianlei's gaze is cold and unforgiving. He's useless. If he can't even kill a single level 1 threat, why should we keep him around? Those chilling words pierce Su Yang's heart. Tianlei turns away. "Let's go back to sleep." 𝐂𝐁𝐎𝐃 continues to beg. "If you don't help, he's going to get bitten, for real." Tianlei doesn't look back. Even better. Then he can finally go join his sister in the afterlife. "Your sister wouldn't want to see you dead yet." Those words triggered an adrenaline explosion. A single devastating blow sent the monster sprawling across the concrete. The impact drew everyone's gaze. Despite the damage, the ghoul lunged forward again. In a flash, Yang snatched up a heavy wooden beam nearby. He crushed her skull with a sickening crack. Lost in a berserker rage, he didn't stop. Each strike carried the weight of his overwhelming power. Tianlei watched, impressed. Pure strength, combined with high-tier combat instinct. He stepped in to halt the madness. Enough, she is already dead. Blinded by rage, Yang attacked him. Lei caught the fist effortlessly. "Lost your mind," Yang screamed. "You just stood there. Why? Call us allies now." Lei shoved him back with cold, calculated indifference. "If I hadn't watched over you, you would be a corpse right now." His voice turned out. "Listen closely, Su Yang. I need a powerful comrade, not a useless burden who cannot survive. I am no burden." Yang barked, but Lei cut him off instantly. Once they turn, they are monsters. They lose all humanity. Mercy is a death sentence. I waited so you could face your trauma. If every monster looks like your sister, you will never survive this hell. The result is always the same. You will die and drag everyone else down with you. 𝐒𝐿 interjected. He is right. Think of your sister. She wants you alive. Realization hit him like a truck. I am sorry, Brother Lei. I let my emotions cloud my judgment. Thank you for saving me. You gave my sister peace. I owe you my life. Without hesitation, he declared, I pay my debts with loyalty. From today, you are my leader. I will grow stronger and never hold you back. Lei nodded, satisfied. Good. Prove you are worth the effort. The following morning, at the hotel, The news announced safe zones. Military protection and rations for 100,000. All survivors are urged to head to the nearest rescue coordinates. Finally, Young cheered. The government is setting up bases. 𝐂𝐁𝐎𝐃 could not hide her overwhelming relief. Base 6 is in 𝐒𝐿. That is exactly where we are heading. But Lei remained silent, his expression darkening by the second. I was too naive, he muttered. The situation is far more dire. Dire? She asked, confused. What is the population of 𝐒𝐿? About 100 million. Lei looked at them grimly. Think about the math. Even if only 10% survived, that is 10 million people. But the base only holds 100,000. Do you see the problem? They stood frozen in silence. A sanctuary for some, he explained, becomes a death trap when millions swarm the gates in desperation. The first to arrive will seize all power and authority. Latecomers will be discarded. It will be pure chaos. And remember, he warned, more people means zero resources left. When total chaos erupts, neither the state nor the military can stop the fallout. Hearing this, Su Yang recalled a horrifying nightmare. His grandfather once told a chilling tale of a flood. Starvation took over, forcing the villagers to survive on human flesh to endure the winter. When rescuers arrived, they found only madness and death. 𝐂𝐁𝐎𝐃 trembled, asking if they should skip the base. Should we turn back? No. Tian Lei's voice was firm. We are pushing forward regardless. Wu Ben and his crew will be heading there the moment they hear the news. But don't put your faith in that base. In this fallen world, trusting anyone is a death sentence. Survival isn't a team sport. If you want to see tomorrow, you can only rely on yourself. His words hung heavy in the air, leaving even the optimistic Su Yang in dark silence. Suddenly, a sharp glint of light cut through the gloom, snapping them back to the present. Where did that flash come from? Tian Lei narrowed his eyes toward the skyscraper across the street. He threw the window open, searching the shadows until he spotted a silhouette. Survivors. The people across the gap erupted in desperate cheers. Waving frantically at Tian Lei's window, Tian Lei scanned the building, seeing a terrified group signaling for help, their faces pale with fear. Save us, we're trapped. Their screams were lost in the wind, drowned out by the massive distance. What's the situation over there? It's too far to tell. I can't hear a word they're saying. Hold on, Su Yang stepped up. I know sign language. Let me try to communicate with them. He started waving his arms wildly, performing a series of bizarre, jerky movements toward the other building. Across the way, the survivors stared in confusion. Was this guy helping or just doing morning aerobics? I can't understand any of that. 𝐂𝐁𝐎𝐃 watched Su Yang's awkward flailing with pure disbelief. Where did you learn those moves? You look like an old man at a park workout session. I saw it on TV once. I guess my memory's just rusty. We can't talk like this. Tian Lei grabbed his gear. We're heading over there right now. In the other tower, the survivors were scrambling for a response when a stern voice boomed behind them. It was Gu Weiping, the high-ranking general manager of the powerful Tianqi Corporation. A lookout with binoculars shouted joyfully, "Boss, there are people across the way. They might save us." Really? Weiping's eyes lit up as he snatched the binoculars away with trembling hands. "Where? I see nothing." He stared through the lenses, but the window across was empty. The room went quiet. They were there a second ago. Just 3 kids, maybe 20 years old. They looked like students from the local campus. Just a bunch of amateurs, really. Students. Weiping spat the word out with pure disgust. "You've gotta be kidding me. I thought it was the military. These brats can't even save themselves, let alone get us out. Total waste of my time." Suddenly, a calm, commanding voice cut through his arrogant ranting. "We're all just trying to survive. Why are you wasting energy, insulting our only hope?" The speaker was Dang Bang Lan, the stunning 24-year-old chairperson of the Tianqi Group. The room bowed in respect. "Chairperson." Weiping immediately lowered his head, his bravado instantly vanishing. "Forgive me, we've been trapped in this hell for 2 days. Everyone is starving. If we don't act soon, we're not going to make it out alive. We should send a scouting party. Maybe the zombies have moved on to a different floor. You're the only one who's starving, Manhwa." A young woman stepped forward with a glare. This was Dongvu Hin, the 22-year-old secretary. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind. The chairperson rationed our food carefully. She told everyone to make their supplies last for weeks. But you're weak. You ate your whole supply in hours. Why should others die for you? Weiping's face flushed with rage. Dongvu Hin. Know your place, you little brat. Just because you're her favorite doesn't mean a lowly secretary can interrupt when the are speaking. But luck wasn't on his side. Bang Nan stepped in, shielding Vu Hin from the heat. Vu Hin is right. As top-tier executives, our first duty is to protect our people. The world outside is a death trap. Sending them out now is a suicide mission. Vi Bin snapped back. But we can't just rot in this dungeon forever. Bang Nan remained cold and calm. The government will surely launch a rescue mission soon. She issued a quest to the staff, restore the network. Find us a lifeline. If we link with the outside, the military can extract us to safety. That beats wandering into a monster nest. Her voice then softened with a gentle trait. Have faith. Don't let despair consume you. We will survive this nightmare together. Her words resonated. The director. We'll follow your lead to the end. Their loyalty made V Bin's blood boil. Suddenly, a cold voice interrupted. Bang Nan froze as Mr. Sun Dian appeared, his face twisted in a sneer. This degenerate was the head of research and development from a foreign gaming giant. I came for a contract, not a front receipt to the apocalypse. He barked. Your country has fallen into utter ruin. This is pathetic and unprofessional. Get me out alive, or my lawyers will bury this company when I get home. Facing his wrath, Bang Nan had no choice but to bow in deep apology. Mr. Sun Dian, we valued our partnership, but this crisis was entirely unforeseen. I am deeply sorry for this mess, but look at the chaos around us. It's not a lack of will. It's the horde of undead blocking every exit. Stepping outside now is a one-way trip to hell. She spoke with sincere helplessness. Please, Hold on just a bit longer while we formulate a survival plan. I guarantee full compensation for every loss once this nightmare ends. 𝐶𝐒𝐒𝐿 huffed. Fine. See that you keep your word, director. Don't fail me. Bang Nan turned to Vibin. Manager, escort our guest to his private suite. He complied with a stiff nod. 𝐶𝐒𝐿 just brushed past him like trash. Once they vanished, Bang Nan let out a shaky breath before walking away. Sister, do you really believe the army is coming for us? Vu Hin whispered. Bang Nan sighed. I'm not sure, but unity is the only thing keeping them sane. Without hope, they'll break. Vu Hin shivered, but the rash... We only have 2 days left. Bang. Nan's eyes went dark. Then it's every soul for themselves. Inside the luxury suite, 𝐶𝐒𝐿 was feasting like a king on hidden supplies. Vibin watched, his stomach churning with hunger, while the man complained loudly. If I knew this place was such a hellhole, I never would have come. I should be in a hot spring right now, not this dump. He spat. Why are you still hovering? He snapped. Vibin swallowed his pride, desperate for food. Mr. 𝐶𝐒𝐿, I haven't eaten in 2 days. Please. Just a scrap? 𝐶𝐒𝐿 laughed. Are you insane? This is my private stash I brought along. I need this to survive until my extraction. Why would I feed a degenerate like you? But you lied to get the guild's rations? Vibin protested, his voice cracking. With a greedy smirk, the man didn't care. He looked at him with pure contempt. Get out before I lose my patience. Scram, don't make me get violent. Humiliated, Vibin turned to leave. But then, a dark thought crossed the man's mind. Wait, manager... Nothing in this world is free, you see. You want food? Fine. But you'll have to do something. Very specific for me. Seeing a glimmer of hope, Vibin desperately vowed to follow Mr. Sandon's. Sandon scoffed, admitting he had zero interest in a formal alliance with such a weak guild. I only came for your chairwoman, he sneered, his degenerate gaze fixed on the beautiful 𝐒𝐒𝐿. It was obsession at first sight. Now, he wanted to trade food for her body. Make me happy for one night, and all these dropped items will be yours. Vibin recoiled in shock. Betraying his superior, that was a rank move, even for him. If he went through with this, his reputation in the survivor guilds would be destroyed. Sandon laughed at his hesitation. Look around. Our world has already degenerated into a lawless wasteland. He targeted Vibin's weakness, knowing the manager harbored deep resentment toward his beautiful boss. With your hidden potential, you shouldn't be playing second fiddle as a low-tier manager, mocked by a younger girl and disrespected by secretaries. Your pride must be burning daily. He leaned in with a wicked grin. Do you really want to keep living like this? Succeed in this quest, and I'll grant you a high-ranking position within my elite guild. Sandon dangled another prize, claiming his nation's women were far more submissive and gentle. Vibin's eyes hardened as he accepted. Deal. But you better fulfill your end of the bargain. A sinister smirk spread across Sandon's face. His trap was set, and the prey had bitten. Tossing a loaf of bread like a scrap, he promised his guild always honors its word. While Vibin agonized over his choice, Thien Loi's trio finally reached the tower's main lobby. Trin Zhao scanned the eerie silence of the hall, her heart racing as she gripped her weapon. 𝐒𝐒𝐒 suggested the zombies might have cleared out, leaving the terrified survivors behind in hiding. Ignoring the chatter, 𝐶𝐿𝐿's heightened senses. Approaching undead. Stay alert. My system detects 20 zombies here, and even more, lurking on the floors above. 𝐶𝐿𝐿 stared in awe. Your sensory stats are incredible, 𝐶𝐿𝐿. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 agreed, until 𝐶𝐿𝐿's eyes locked onto a decorative blade hanging in the lobby. 𝐒𝐒𝐿, catch! He shouted, tossing the steel weapon toward his friend with precise speed. Bare-handed combat against these monsters is suicide. Even a martial artist needs a proper edge. This blade matches your trait. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 swung the weapon, feeling the lethal weight of the steel. A satisfied grin appeared on his face. It's a perfect fit. Thanks for the upgrade, brother. Suddenly, 𝐶𝐿𝐿's scream pierced the air. A horde of 𝐒𝐿𝐿 is charging. 𝐶𝐿𝐿 didn't hesitate. I'll lead the charge. 𝐒𝐒𝐿𝐿, protect 𝐶𝐿𝐿 at all costs. Back in the executive suite, a heavy knock echoed. Chairwoman, are you in there? Seeing Vibin, Bang Nan looked up cautiously. He feigned urgency, asking to speak in private. Vu Hin narrowed her eyes suspiciously. If it's important, why can't you say it here, manager? Vibin felt a cold sweat, but he forced a mask of calm, weaving a lie. Our rations are hitting 0. We'll starve long before any rescue team reaches this dungeon. He leaned in, pretending to help. Mr. Sandon and I have formulated a survival strategy. He requested your presence to finalize the details of our resource distribution quest. Vu Hin whispered a warning. That man is a degenerate. Don't go alone. He has predator eyes. Rage boiled inside Vibin. That brat was ruining his play. Fine then, he thought darkly. I'll just gift both of you to Sandon as a bonus. Bang Nan remained wary, acknowledging that this was a critical turning point for their survival. Invite him here. I'll gather the high-ranking members to deliberate on this new proposal. Vibin's silver tongue went to work. Ma'am, this is a delicate plan. We shouldn't involve everyone. If the quest fails, morale will plummet. Let's verify the details ourselves before going public. Once we confirm the mission is viable, we can share the rewards with the entire guild. He even offered to bring Vu Hin along to build trust. If you're worried, she can join us. What do you think? Vu Hin signaled Bang Nan with a sharp glance. She agreed instantly, unaware she was walking straight into a deadly trap. Meanwhile, the corridor was littered with zombie. The one who cleared them? None other than the awakened 𝐒𝐒𝐿. 𝐶𝐿𝐿 nodded in approval. Impressive. You're adapting to this hell faster than I expected. 𝐶𝐿𝐿 watched in total awe. He's a completely different person compared to yesterday. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 shrugged shyly. It's nothing. This blade is just incredibly effective. His humble reaction left 𝐶𝐿𝐿 speechless. Your mood swings are something else, she teased. Moments later, she located the building's elevator. 𝐶𝐿𝐿 over here. The elevator is stuck on the 3rd floor. 𝐶𝐿𝐿 frowned. The power grid is fried. Elevators are death traps now. We can't risk getting stuck inside. 𝐶𝐿𝐿 panicked. The stairs. They're crawling with zombies. We'll be exhausted before we even reach the top. He gestured toward a dark corner. No. We're taking a much more efficient route. He pointed to the ventilation ducts, certain they'd bypass the horde. Upstairs, Vibin led the women into the meeting room. He announced their arrival with a smirk. Mr. Sun Diren. The guests have finally arrived. Sun Diren looked up, his eyes gleaming with greed. Satisfaction. Welcome, welcome. His tone sent shivers down their spines. The two women exchanged deep, uneasy glances. Bang Nan jumped straight to business. Mr. Sun Diren. I heard you have a way out of this nightmare. Sun Diren paused, then quickly played along with a smirk. Ah, yes. Exactly. While he spoke, Vu Hin's eyes locked onto the feast spread across the table. My plan is before he could finish, she erupted, in pure, righteous fury. You said there was no food. Then what is this? Sun Diren feigned ignorance. Oh, I must have forgotten. I only just discovered these supplies hidden deep in my luggage. Quite a surprise. Vu Hin snapped, defending Bang Nan. You expect us to believe that pathetic lie? Everyone is starving. The chairwoman only had one piece of bread all day. While you're gorging yourself? Bang Nan held her back. Enough, Vu Hin. Focus on the business. This isn't worth our time. Vu Hin tried to protest. Sun Diren stood up slowly. Exactly. A lowly secretary, like you, only understands the value of cheap bread. He suddenly grabbed Bang Nan, his gaze turning lecherous. The chairwoman clearly has a much broader vision. His audacity made Vu Hin scream. Bang Nan trembled, her voice failing as fear took over. What are you doing? She stammered. The mask fell. He was nothing but a disgusting degenerate. Just what you said. Business. With a violent shove, he pinned her down onto the sofa. He hovered over her, sneering. I've wanted you for so long. Let's enjoy the night, beautiful. Vu Hin rushed to intervene, but Vive Bin intercepted her with a brutal, bone-shattering slap. She collapsed to the floor, trembling. B-I-N-H. How could you do this? It was a trap. You sold us out from the start. She screamed in devastating realization. Vibin spat. Shut up. I only tolerated you because of her. Now, you're absolutely nothing. Try to move again, and you're both dead. Your luck just ran out today. Sun Diren roared with laughter. I like your style. Bang Nan sobbed, begging for any kind of help. He leaned in, mocking her terror without a shred of remorse. Go ahead, scream. Keep screaming. I've already tricked all your staff into the other room. With these soundproof walls, no one will hear your cries. You're all mine now. Suddenly, the ventilation duct groaned. 𝐶𝐿 trio crashed through the ceiling, falling right into the chaos. Trinjao, lose some weight. Hey, it was clearly 𝐒𝐒𝐒 who was too heavy. My bad, 𝐒𝐒𝐒 muttered. Then, 𝐶𝐿's eyes narrowed as he surveyed the scene. Vibin froze mid-struggle, staring at the three uninvited guests. The secretaries gasped in horror. Sun Diren stood stunned. The real turning point had finally arrived. 𝐒𝐒𝐒 blushes, trying to pull Trinjao away. Sorry, we didn't mean to intrude on... This. But 𝐶𝐿 halts him. Look closer. This isn't a romantic encounter, it's a crime. Seeing a chance, Vu Hin screams for her life. These men are monsters. The aggressor, Sun Diren, roars in fury. Get out now. That accent, ... A foreign invader. Has the world truly fallen this low? First, the zombies. Now, this trash oppressing our people. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 rage ignites like a system skill. He charges forward. I'm going to knock every tooth out of your pathetic face. The cowards and secretaries flee instantly as the real battle begins. Surprisingly, the fat man dodges like a high-tier hunter, an awakened fighter. Vu Hin rushes to support her fallen sister, Bang Nan. You're safe now, Sun Dian sneers. Your local martial arts are nothing but pathetic jokes. My karate is the supreme tier. Drop your weapons and face me one-on-one. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 doesn't flinch. Fine. I'll crush your pride with my bare hands. Sun Dian lunges. Die. Once you're gone, the beauties belong to me. Fists collide with explosive force. Neither side yields a single inch. 𝐶𝐁𝐎𝐃 watches, trembling. 𝐶𝐿𝐈, that beast looks dangerous. Should we help him? 𝐶𝐿𝐈 remains calm. No. A true warrior respects the duel. Ganging up lacks honor. He trusts 𝐒𝐒𝐿's growth. Suddenly, Sun Dian unleashes a devastating flying kick. But 𝐒𝐒𝐿 parries every strike effortlessly. The villain's arrogance turns into blind madness. He attacks wildly. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 ducks, reading the boss monster's movements like a system window. There, a fatal opening in his guard. Sun Dian's eyes fill with sudden terror. Crash 𝐒𝐒𝐿 slams him into the table. The fat tyrant falls, motionless, on the floor. Had enough? 𝐒𝐒𝐿 growls. I yield, the coward whines, in total defeat. Incredible victory, 𝐶𝐁𝐎𝐃 cheers. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 turns away. But the degenerate isn't done. He trembles, rising with a gaze full of murderous intent. Watch out, 𝐶𝐿𝐈 screams. A hidden blade gleams, aimed at 𝐒𝐒𝐿's back. Go to hell. Sun Dian lunges forward for a final, desperate sneak attack. Predictable. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 spins, catching the blade before delivering a brutal counterpunch. Pure killing intent radiates from his eyes. One final blow sends the trash flying across the room. 𝐶𝐁𝐎𝐃 spits in disgust. What a pathetic excuse for a man. No honor at all. He promised a fair fight, but hid a knife like a rat. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 exhales. Thanks for the warning, 𝐿𝐈. That was nearly a critical hit. 𝐶𝐿𝐈's gaze remains cold. You're too honest for this world, 𝐒𝐒𝐿. Traitors don't value promises. In this era, you must keep your heart guarded. Suddenly, the company staff bursts in. Chairman, is everyone okay? Seeing his protection fall, the traitor Vibin collapses to his knees, begging. Forgive me, Sun Dian. Forced my hand. I was just a victim in his trap. Slap Vu Hin's hand leaves a burning mark on his face. You snake, she screams. The chairman trusted you above everyone else. And you betrayed her for a foreigner? You're lower than the filth in the streets. The staff finally realizes the scale of the betrayal. The truth is laid bare. Righteous fury explodes. They swarm the traitor, fists flying in a chaotic frenzy. Sell out. You're a disgrace to our blood. Die for what you've done. Their eyes turn toward the fallen Sun Dian next. He won't be escaping this time. Chairman, the choice is yours. How should we execute these two degenerates? Bang. Nan's cold eyes flashed. Throw those two degenerates into the storage room. When the authorities arrive, we'll turn them in. For now, Just lock them up. V begged for a second chance. I'm a foreign citizen. You have no right to treat me like this. Release me now, or my country will make you pay for this insult. 𝐻𝐿 scoffed. Wake up, old man. It's a zombie apocalypse. Your home is likely a graveyard for the undead now. There's no going back. Liar, he screamed, as his secretaries suddenly clung to 𝐻𝐿. Save us, handsome. Zhao snarled and shoved them back. Get lost, you leeches. Have you no shame? Keep your hands off my man right now. Daegawang turned to his leader. Big bro Lee, what about these two? Bang, Nan intervened. Her arrogant, high-ranking tier attitude was starting to grate on everyone's nerves. 𝐻𝐿 snapped back. Listen, lady. We aren't your subordinates. Stop giving us orders. Lady, she shrieked, her pride wounded by the casual disrespect. Who are you calling old? 𝐻𝐿 jumped in, desperate to Chairwoman, please. Take a deep breath. Suddenly, both 𝐻𝐿 and Daejiang turned bright red. Daejiang stammered, distracted by the overwhelming physical traits. The tension was palpable. Bang Nan caught their wandering eyes. You perverts. What do you think you're looking at? As she lunged forward, 𝐻𝐿 dodged. Hey, don't just start swinging like a monster. 𝐻𝐿 moved between them. Please, we need to focus on survival, not fighting. Eventually, they settled down. 𝐻𝐿 offered drinks, trying to mend the fractured peace. Nearby, the surviving employees whispered. Their legendary Ice Queen, CEO, had finally lost her cool. At 24, she hated being called old. 𝐻𝐿 reminded them of the traitor. We saved you from that traitor, yet you offer hits instead of a thank you. Bang, Nun glared. Use your eyes. We were being coerced by that madman. Were you planning to just stand there and watch while we were being brutalized? 𝐻𝐿 countered. So now, it's our fault. Should we have just stayed out of it? Maybe I should have just watched the show. Right. Bang Nan's face turned scarlet with rage. What? Before another explosion, 𝐻𝐿 shoved water into their hands to distract them. She's just overwhelmed, 𝐻𝐿 whispered. Trust me, she's actually very grateful for the rescue. To break the ice, 𝐻𝐿 officially introduced the group to their unexpected saviors. This is Lady Hung Bang Nan, the powerful chairwoman of the prestigious Tianqi Corporation. And I'm her assistant, 𝐻𝐿. Zhao paused. The name rang a bell. Wait, are you the genius graduate from the Huazhong Business Academy? Bang Nan turned. You've heard of me? Zhao's eyes lit up. It really is you. This is unbelievable. You're a literal legend at our school. Every student knows your story by heart. A top-tier student who founded a guild-level corporation within a single year of graduating. She was famous for her scholarships and providing internships to struggling, high-potential students. You're my ultimate idol. Bang Nan softened, realizing they shared a common background. Oh, a junior, 𝐻𝐿 scoffed. No wonder this company has such an arrogant culture. The fish rots from the head down. Bang Nan's eyes narrowed dangerously. Explain yourself. Last year, I applied for an internship at your Tower of Power, 𝐻𝐿 stated calmly. I met every stat requirement, but I was rejected because my shirt looked a bit worn. He let out a year's worth of hidden frustration. The memory of the humiliation still stung. Your HR team laughed and told me to become a delivery boy instead. Some legend. Perhaps they were just being too blunt with you. But a worker's image represents the entire company. If you want this job, show some sincerity through your appearance. 𝐶𝐿 didn't stop there. His gaze sharpened as he continued. It wasn't just me. Talented students were rejected, while wealthy degenerates in silk suits hired instantly. What a coincidence, right? Hearing this, Bang Nan turned to Vu Hin. Vu Hin whispered back, the summer recruitment was handled by Kovai Bin. His team only hires those with status. 𝐶𝐿 didn't hold back his contempt. If your recruitment is just a playground for rich kids wanting a soft life, then don't you dare advertise fake scholarships or offer false hope to high-achieving students. Stop selling us these pathetic illusions. Realizing the system's failure, she bowed her head. This is truly our fault. I am sorry. I sincerely apologize to you and everyone else who faced that rigged interview. Suddenly, the other employees spoke up. Look, kid, the past is dead. Let it go. Exactly. Why bring up old grudges now? Surviving this nightmare together is the only quest that matters. Trong Tran asked anxiously. The signal is dead in this building. We have no way to contact the outside. What's the situation out there? When will the rescue team and the hunters arrive? This question made Trinzhao and 𝐶𝐿. 𝐶𝐿 finally spoke. The city is crawling with zombies. If you're waiting for the military, give up now. The news hit them like a physical blow. 𝐶𝐿 ignored their shock and continued. There are rumors of government rescue squads. But from the school to here, we haven't seen a single soul. His words left Trong Tran terrified. Then what? Are we doomed? If you made it in here, you must know a hidden exit. Please, kid, don't leave us to die. 𝐶𝐿 sighed and laid out the brutal survival reality. The ventilation shaft is weak. It barely held the three of us. It won't survive a whole group. Plus, the zombie count is too high to guarantee anyone's safety. Bang Nan asked, is there really no way? 𝐶𝐿 smirked, planting a tiny seed of hope. There might be a way, but we're exhausted from the last battle. Fighting those monsters took everything. Now, we just want to eat and find a quiet place to recover. He grinned darkly. This room looks perfect. Since you're the ones asking for help, show us some sincerity first. Bang Nan fumed at his demand, while Vu Hin called out nervously. Finally, Bang Nan conceded. Fine. We'll leave, so you can rest and recover. In the hallway, the employees huddled around Bang Nan to strategize. Director, those guys are powerful. They have the stats to get us out of here. But we can't rely solely on them. We need to find our own path to the extraction zone. Bang Nan took charge. Vu Hin, get the floor map. Find every possible hidden passage. Understood, Vu Hin replied. Just then, an employee approached Bang Nan, trembling. Director, any supplies left? People are reaching their limit. If no rescue is coming, we need to eat whatever is left. Bang Nan and Vu Hin froze, their secret exposed. Before Bang Nan could speak, Vu Hin intervened. The truth is, all the supplies are already gone. The director only lied about the rations to keep everyone from spiraling into a total panic. Chaos erupted instantly. What? We're starving. Suddenly, Trong Tran burst in with a wild grin. Don't worry, I found items. They watched him dump out a pile of food. So much. Where did you find this loot? Bang Nan recognized the gear immediately and interrogated him. Wait, isn't that the backpack from those three? How did you get your hands on it? He shrugged. They went to the other room, so I sneaked back in and took it. Bing Yan pleaded, We can't do this. Give it back to them immediately. But Zhongzhen sneered, arguing that such high-tier loot couldn't have been bought. He claimed they scavenged it, but Bing Yan snapped, We can't steal from our allies. Cornered, he switched to a pathetic tone. Director, please listen to me. I've scouted everywhere. There is no other exit left in this building. The vents are our only hope. Bing Yan gasped, but weren't they blocked? He grinned with false confidence. Why trust outsiders so as... Think about it. If the outside world is truly a wasteland, how did those three kids get inside? If those brats can handle the undead, why can't grown men like us? Bing Yan and Wu Xin hesitated. Seeing their indecision, he pressed his advantage. Let everyone eat first. I'll scout ahead and return if it's safe. His manipulative words quickly won over the desperate, starving crowd. Director, I'll go. Staying here is certain death. Let's take the risk. Even Wu Xin agreed. Wang Lei is right. Let them try the path. Bing Yan went silent, eventually giving Zhongzhen the signal to descend. Be careful down there. The lobby stayed silent until the vent creaked open. Zhongzhen dropped down stealthily, signaling his crew that the coast was clear. The others tumbled down one by one, creating several loud, Watch it! You nearly kicked me right in the face. You idiot. Sorry, these vents are cramped. My legs are totally numb. Blonde warned them. Shut up! Do you want to lure every monster in the building here? Blackhair shrugged. Don't be paranoid like the boss. It's empty out here. The man behind him agreed. This is easier than expected. Zhongzhen scoffed with pure arrogance. Told you there was no danger. The director was just scared. These monsters aren't actually that threatening. Exactly. Women worry too much. We should have left this floor sooner. Mid-sentence, his foot hit something wet and sticky on the marble floor. He froze, staring at the dark, viscous poodle. What is this? Tracing the slime, he found a motionless zombie slumped in a dark corner. Zombie, he shrieked. Zhongzhen calmed him. Relax, it's already dead, see? He approached the corpse while the others warned him to stay back. He noticed a massive, jagged crack in the creature's rotting skull. Look, Zhao Tianli must have used that fire axe to crush its head. The group realized the secret. Just like the movies, aim for the head. Suddenly, Zhongzhen shouted in triumph. The keys to the lobby. As he grabbed them, a cold, rotting hand clamped onto his wrist. The zombie lunged with terrifying speed. The men behind him screamed in terror. It's alive! Run! But Zhongzhen gritted his teeth, refusing to back down. Scared, if that kid, Zhao, can kill these things, so can we. He tossed the keys to a teammate as the monster snapped its jaws. With a surge of adrenaline, he grabbed a heavy ornament and swung hard. The zombie collapsed, and Zhongzhen began hammering its skull in a frenzy. Die! Die! The blonde shouted, It's dead turn! The shout snapped him out of his bloodlust. He blinked, gasping. The lackeys cheered for their hero as he let out a triumphant laugh. This self-proclaimed war guard acted tough, mocking the zombies as mere trash. 2 hits, and they're dead, Zhongzhen bragged to his desperate followers. He promised survival through unity, and the sheep believed every lying word. While they cheered, 𝐶𝐿 party scouted the dangerous upper hallways. These so-called elites were nothing but brainless fodder waiting to die. They locked the main doors, but left the stairwells open for crawlers. We've secured this floor, but in this tower, safety is an illusion. 𝐶𝐿 scoffed. Incompetent leaders are a death sentence for their men. Trinjiao teased him, still bitter about that failed interview. She thought it was just a rejection, but the cost was far higher. She defended the president, claiming some things are just overlooked in business. Overlooked, he snapped. I sacrificed my entire future for that one chance. He told a grim tale of a friend who suffered even worse. Expelled and broken, that friend became a cripple after a tragic accident. A life ruined by one cold decision. Trinjiao stood there, speechless. Who compensates for a stolen life? 𝐶𝐿's voice turned ice. To him, leadership isn't a title, it's the crushing weight of every soul. One wrong decision from the top can erase a person's entire world. If you can't carry that responsibility, then get out of the way. Trinjiao looked at him with awe. 𝐶𝐿, you're incredible. She mused on the gap between a simple hero and a sovereign. A hero fights, but a leader commands the very fate of others. One day, 𝐶𝐿, the whole world will kneel before your greatness. Her voice trailed off. Will you even remember me when you're king? He placed a hand on her head. Don't be a fool, girl. A small smile touched her lips at his sudden, rare warmth. You're my comrade. We stand together until the very end. Promise. She made him swear it, then begged him to forgive the president. A true man doesn't hold petty grudges, she nudged with a smile. 𝐶𝐿 sighed and agreed to maintain his composure for the team. They reached the break room door, but the atmosphere felt disturbingly empty. The door opened to a bare table. Their survival bags had vanished. In the conference room, Bangnan worried if the scouts were alive. Vu Hin tried to soothe her, claiming the men were too smart. Suddenly, 𝐶𝐿 burst in. Where the hell is our gear? 𝐻𝐿 found their food trashed in a corner, completely looted. You stole from us? Trinjiao cried, her face pale with betrayal. Those supplies were their only lifeline in this zombie 𝐶𝐿 glared at the president. Explain this logic to me, madam. The room fell silent as the weight of their thievery sank in. We saved your lives, 𝐻𝐿 spat, and you stab our backs. He cursed his own kindness, but Vu Hin dared to talk back. Watch your tone. It's not that serious, she scoffed with arrogance. It was just some snacks. We'll pay you back later, alright? 𝐻𝐿's rage exploded. Pay us back. Food is life in this world. I'm 𝐶𝐿. I may not have a degree, but I know theft when I see it. You're educated, yet you've turned into a total degenerate. His blunt accusation hit like a physical strike, leaving Vu Hin speechless and trembling with shame. Bangnan stepped in, silencing her friend immediately. She owned the mistake, her eyes flickering with a desperate need for a quest for redemption. Taking your supplies without permission was a survival error, but our scouts are mapping the zone. We are looking for an exit strategy. We'll find the path soon. Once we escape this hell, I promise a double return on your resources. Consider it a high-tier trade. 𝐶𝐿's gaze turned cold as he dropped a chilling question that cut through her hope. Do you truly think those scouts will return? His words sent a shiver of dread through her heart. What do you mean? The climb from the first floor took 30 minutes. Going down is the math doesn't favor their survival. A round trip takes 1 hour tops. How long have they been gone? Vu Hain gasped. It had been to agonizing hours. Meanwhile, on the first floor, the scouts were busy feasting on stolen loot. They hailed Trong Tran as their savior. This is legendary. Finally, a full meal after days of starvation. All thanks to Big Brother Tran's leadership. One lackey asked, "Boss, how did you track down this hidden stash?" "There's enough here to level up our stamina stats." Tran smirked. The models upstairs were always starving to keep their rank. They hid secret rations in this storage room to avoid the company's strict eyes. They had electric pots and hidden snacks stashed away for midnight cravings. It was the perfect hidden chest for us to find. He then revealed the secret behind how he located the items in the first place. I'd spotted them hiding the key multiple times. In a world of survival, observation is the most important trait. A young man suggested returning to the president, but the others laughed at his naivety. "Are you an idiot? The old world is dead. The company is gone. There are no more presidents in this tower of madness." They mocked Bangnan, claiming her intellect was worthless now. In this era of degeneration, she couldn't even protect her own life, let alone lead. "Following her is a death flag," Blondie added. He was fully aligned with Tran's dark philosophy. Remember earlier, they almost became boss monster fodder. Look at this meat. This is the only power-up that matters now. Only by following Tran can we survive. The future belongs to those who adapt. We need to gear up for ourselves. The naive youth fell silent, then took a bite. The flavor of betrayal was sweet. He quickly joined the group of degenerates. "Big Brother Tran, you're our new leader. Your word is law. We follow your command from now on." Tran's ego swelled. He laughed darkly, claiming he only wanted what was best for his new brother. "We were colleagues once, but now we're friends. Trust me, and I'll treat you all like blood brothers." Crises is just another word for opportunity. We were all just low-ranking workers before this system crashed. We used to be corporate slaves. Now, we unite to build our own empire from the ashes of the old world. The group cheered, drunk on his manipulation. Suddenly, a violent thud echoed from the corridor. What was that? Don't tell me the undead have found our location? Panic flared in their eyes. Could it be a zombie horde approaching? Tran, fueled by his previous kill, remained arrogant. "Stay calm. You saw me take one down already, didn't you? These monsters are slow and mindless. Just hit them with high-speed strikes. We have the advantage in this room. Grab your weapons. Aim for the head. It's the only way to clear this floor. Are you ready for battle?" The group shouted in agreement. The handle rattled violently, and then the door was torn from its hinges. A mutated zombie lunged inside. Its sheer ferocity paralyzed even Tran with absolute terror. "It's too fast. What tier of monster is this thing?" Back in the meeting room, Vu Hin whispered frantically. "President, they've been gone too long. Something must have triggered a crisis." Bangnan tried to stay calm. "They might just be lost. Give them more time." But Thien Loy cut through her delusions. The president has a dark sense of humor. "These are vents, not a maze. There's no way to get lost in there. They aren't coming back. They're being devoured as we speak. Not even their bones will remain in this dungeon." Horrified, Vu Hin demanded a rescue mission. But Su Duong's patience had reached its limit. He wasn't playing the hero for thieves. "Are you joking? You steal our food and then demand we risk our lives. Where's the logic in that request? She snapped back, questioning his manhood. Is a bit of food worth more than human lives? How can you be so calculating? Only we girls are left. If you men won't step up, who will save them? This is your responsibility. He refused to back down. Since when did being a man mean ignoring logic? Everyone should be reasonable. Tianlei spoke up. I can save them, but... Bing Yan gasped in disbelief. Are you actually agreeing to help them? But not for free, he demanded. Beg me. She trembled with pure rage. Wu Hin snapped. Don't cross the line. Our president has never begged anyone. He ignored their status. Listen, President Zhang, there is no such thing as a free lunch. If you care about their lives, sacrifice your pride. Everything has a price. His words hit like a hammer. Wu Hin watched Bing Yan tremble in silent frustration. Bing Yan gritted her teeth. Fine. Are you satisfied now? Her arrogant attitude was a total fail. Not good enough. Tianlei snapped back. His cold rejection made her gnash her teeth in absolute fury. He remained indifferent. I told you before. You are no match for those zombies. You went behind our backs because you didn't trust us. You ignored my warnings. Now, you want me to clean up your mess? This deal is not profitable. Are you playing with me? She screamed. No, I am teaching you how to survive. He reminded her of the old world, back when she sat high and mighty. She clearly was not used to being manipulated like a pawn on a board. But for us, commoners, being used and discarded by elites, like you, the world had flipped. It was time for her to face a brutal lesson. The world has changed. Get used to the dirt, or the shock will kill you. He turned to leave. Let's move. Bing Yan hissed. You complete bastard. Later in the hallway, Cheng Jiao pleaded for him to help the others. Tianlei, they are just scholars. They can't even hold a weapon properly. If they face those zombies, they are dead. Can we really just watch? He sighed. I only said that because her ego was unbearable. Zero sincerity. If she doesn't learn this lesson now, her arrogance will get everyone killed. Cheng Jiao beamed when she realized he was actually listening to her request. They are still human lives. You promised not to be too hard. Help them. Overjoyed by his kindness, she suddenly leaned in and kissed him. Tianlei froze, blushing hard. What are you doing? You can't just kiss people. She flushed, but smiled. Don't overthink it. It's a thank you kiss. I am just happy. He looked away, embarrassed. Don't make it sound so serious. It's just a favor. She remained firm. It is serious. This is the first time you changed for me. I will remember this for the rest of my life. You are special. Her words touched him. Suddenly, Su Yang stepped up. Boss, let me help. Tianlei shook his head. No, stay here. It's not safe. He turned to Cheng Jiao. If zombies break in, stay close to him. Stay safe. She nodded obediently. I understand. I will stay alert. Just come back to us safely. He gave her a thumbs up and vanished. He landed silently in the empty lobby of floor 1. He spotted an open vent. They escaped through here. He gripped his axe tightly. As he passed a dark room, a chilling sensation filled the air. The heavy smell of blood hit him. He kicked the ajar door wide open. Killing intent hung thick. He scanned the stacks of heavy crates in the room. He shoved the crates aside. Beneath them lay the mangled bodies, all dead. 𝐶𝐿 brow furrows as a dark shadow suddenly flickers past his back. Startled, he draws his axe and retreats. It's a zombie, but something feels off. Staring in shock, 𝐶𝐿 mutters, "It's way too fast." Every zombie until now was slow and stiff. Why is this one different? Its eyes aren't red. Suddenly, a hidden system memory flashes in his mind. System data confirms it. Over time, certain zombies evolve unique, deadly abilities. These mutants are far more agile than the typical mindless undead. With boosted speed and power, they are humanity's greatest threat. This creature matches the evolved profile. It's a terrifying new breed. A mutant zombie. Instead of fear, 𝐶𝐿 feels a surge of battle lust. Let's see your strength. The mutant lunges the moment he speaks. It unleashes a flurry of strikes, forcing him into a desperate dodge. It roars in frustration, snapping its jaws, but he's already moved away. This pace drains stamina quickly. He needs to create some distance. He vaults off the ground, narrowly evading the creature's sharp claws. With a clean maneuver, he successfully backs away to safety. He counterattacks with his axe, but the mutant actually evades his strike. His eyes sharpen. Evolved monsters are much more flexible than expected. The mutant glares with bloodlust, ready to tear him apart. It pounces again. 𝐶𝐿 ducks low, feeling the wind rush by. The beast turns to strike, but its prey has already vanished. It howls in a blind rage, failing to check above its head. Perched on a cabinet, 𝐶𝐿 smirks down at the mindless beast. Vast, but still brainless. He dives down, axe aimed for the kill. The monster senses the danger and looks up far too late. Its fate was sealed at the moment he took the high ground. One strike ends it. Speed is useless if your brain hasn't evolved. He notices a glimmering object inside its skull and pulls it out. System. Congratulations, you have obtained your very first soul core. Damn it, Lord God. Could you announce yourself before scaring me? So, this is a soul core. What exactly does this thing do? The Lord God immediately begins the detailed system explanation. Soul cores only form in mutants, never in the common undead. These crystals are color-coded by rank, starting from basic white. They progress through yellow, orange, green, blue, and even purple. Use them to boost hidden stats, gain EXP, or unlock resources. One white core equals 10 EXP. 𝐶𝐿 examines the white crystal, realizing the monster's true rank. It's just a basic mutant. But then, a terrifying thought strikes him. Hey, Lord God, are you kidding? Why didn't you warn me? If a basic mutant is this strong, what about the higher tiers? Humans won't stand a chance. However, the system quickly provides reassurance. Evolution requires strict conditions, massive food sources, and significant time. The higher the tier, the more impossible the evolution process becomes. Pick their monsters are rare. Perhaps only 10 black tiers exist worldwide. That confirmation finally let 𝐶𝐿 breathe. Good enough for now. Yet he kept important intel like this should be dropped all at once, not in bits. Are you an AI? Must I ask a question just to get a single answer? Shut it, the god snapped. How will you use this core? Arrogant prick, 𝐶𝐿 muttered. He began calculating the best way to utilize the loot. With only one mutant down, raw stats weren't urgent. Experience could be farmed from regular zombies later. Decision made. I'm choosing the resource exchange, he declared. The prime being complied. Virtual space resource exchange. A blinding flash consumed his vision. The sight left him stunned. He was staring directly into the system marketplace. The inventory window split into weapons and supplies. Blades, firearms, even high-tier explosives lined the interface. 𝐶𝐿 tapped the screen, his expression souring instantly. Is this broken? Why are the best items locked? Only basic supplies are available for trade. The voice echoed. Exchange rights are tied to the tier. A common white core only grants access to rank 1 items, nothing more. Locked items mean your rank is too low. Hunt higher tier bosses for better gear. Furthermore, the core only unlocks the interface. It isn't currency for the trade itself. To take these, you must spend hidden XP. 𝐶𝐿 screamed in disbelief. My hard-earned XP, you never mentioned that. The being remained cold and clinical. I said the core unlocks the system. I never said it paid for goods. Your own delusion. Scammed 𝐶𝐿 sighed in defeat. Fine, I won't trade anything. I'm not playing your games. The being didn't argue. Farewell, it whispered before the signal went dark. That bastard, 𝐶𝐿 cursed, always leaving without a word whenever he feels like it. A heads up wouldn't kill you. Silence returned, leaving him alone in the chilling void. He stared at the half-eaten rations and discarded water. His gaze sharpened with cold realization. Trin Bang Nang is still waiting. Little does she know, they've already abandoned her. Such a foolish woman. At least this feast won't go to waste. The others will eat well tonight. Later, at the safe house, the door creaked open. Trin Jiao Huck, Duong? Look what I found. He called out, heavy pack in hand. Silence. No footsteps, no voices. Suddenly, a desperate scream for help shattered the quiet. Help us! 𝐶𝐿 froze. He bolted toward the noise, heart racing. Had the horde finally breached the perimeter? He reached the room and kicked the door open with a crash. His blood ran cold. Huck Dugan was cradling a bleeding body. Trin Jiao, stay with me. Vu Hin and the others stood frozen, facing a shadowed figure. Vibin, let the chairman go. Huck Duong roared, his voice thick with murderous rage. You, cowards, using a woman as a shield. Face me, like a real man. Vibin didn't flinch. Back off. One more step, and she dies. Sundiran pressed a blade against the girl's throat. Why fight fair when I hold the winning card? You idiots never learn. 𝐶𝐿 rushed over. Trin Jiao, what happened? Huck Duong collapsed in tears of regret. Brother Loi, it's my fault. I failed to protect her. I was too careless. Vu Hin explained. The degenerates cut their bonds and seized the chairman as a hostage. Trin Jiao took the hit, trying to save her. Then, a faint, ragged voice whispered, 𝐶𝐿, LOI, ... I'm sorry. She coughed, her strength fading fast. I promised to wait for you, but I failed. I'm back. Bingye stared at her, eyes brimming with soul-crushing guilt. "I'm so sorry. If I hadn't been so useless, you wouldn't be suffering like this." "Shut your mouth," Tianlei roared, exploding with pure rage as he stood. He pinned the entire failure on his sister's shoulders. "You're a jinx. All you do is lock people up. Why weren't there high-tier hunters guarding them?" "Apologies won't fix anything now." Seeing his fury, Cheng-Jiao gasped, "Tianlei." "Those degenerates played dirty. They used a diversion to lure the president out. She only surrendered to protect the rest of the guild from the ambush. She isn't the weak leader you think she is. She's still the best we have. Right." She broke into a violent, hacking cough, blood spattering the floor. Ignoring the others, he knelt to wrap her in his cloak. "Stop talking, Cheng-Jiao. I need to stop the bleeding." But she ignored his plea, her life force fading fast. "Tianlei, there's something I've hidden for so long." He frowned, wanting her to rest, but he listened in heart-wrenching silence. "Remember our first meeting? When I asked to be your girlfriend? Back then, I didn't actually love you. The trauma from the library dungeon left me terrified. I was just a coward. I just wanted a shield. I wanted to survive this apocalypse. But then, I saw your true power. Your legendary strength. By your side, I felt invincible. Even against a horde of high-ranking zombies, I felt no fear at all. I knew I could never be the one you loved most, but being your loyal comrade was enough for me. I wanted to follow you forever, but it seems my journey ends here. I can't walk the path of evolution with you anymore." As her confession echoed, Tianlei's composure shattered, tears streaming down his face. "An S-rank man like you, you'll find plenty of girls to care for you. But please, Tianlei, promise me one thing. Don't forget me. Even a tiny corner of your heart is enough to make me happy." He couldn't take it anymore. "Stop talking like this," he screamed, his voice breaking with pure agony. "Forget you, never. Just hold on, Cheng-Jiao. I won't let the system take you. I won't let you die." But her voice grew faint, like brittle glass ready to shatter under the weight of the nightmare. "Meeting you made this hell worth it. With those final words, her last breath escaped her lips. She died with a peaceful smile. Tianlei felt his world collapse, his heart crushed by a mountain of grief. As he wailed her name, even the stoic president broke down, her body trembling with uncontrollable sobs. "Cheng-Jiao." He pulled her lifeless body close, his scream echoing through the desolate ruins of the world. Wu Xin covered her mouth, speechless with sorrow. Even Bingya could only whisper "Junior" in hollow despair. But the degenerate Yamada broke the silence, his voice dripping with mocking arrogance and contempt. "Kid, women are like clothes. Why cry? She was cute, but she's nothing compared to the beauty of President Trin. How about we strike a deal instead? Let me walk, and I'll give you the president. You can enjoy her however you like. Sound like a fair trade?" Suddenly, Yamada froze. The air turned ice cold. As Tianlei's killing intent exploded, his face a mask of pure murder. Gently, he laid her body down. Tianlei rose, his silence more terrifying than any boss monster's roar. A deathly quiet filled the room as he turned his gaze toward the traitors behind him. The villains recoiled in terror. As he took his first step, the sheer weight of his aura forced them backward. "What are you doing?" Wei Ping stammered, his cowardice on full display. Panicking, Yamada pressed the blade deeper into Bingja's throat. "Stay back, or I'll end this woman right now. Go ahead, Tianlei replied, his voice devoid of emotion. Bingya gasped, her eyes wide with disbelief. The entire guild was stunned by his coldness, but his murderous gaze never wavered from his prey. If not for her, 𝐒𝐒𝐄 would be alive. She should pay for her failure. Kill her, if you want. Yamato gritted his teeth, his hand trembling as he repeated his hollow threat. I'm not bluffing, I'll do it. Tianlei glared with eyes of ice. Then hurry up. I'm waiting. Seeing no fear, the villain hesitated. Tianlei smirked a chill-in, demonic expression. Fine then. My turn. He lunged like a shadow, his grip crushing Yamato's wrist like a hydraulic press. With a violent flick, he tossed Bingya aside. She scrambled toward the others. President, are you all right? While suppressing 𝐒𝐒𝐿-𝐕𝐋 strikes from behind, 𝐒𝐒𝐿 pivots, gripping the attacker's blade midair. With a lethal kick, he shatters the jar and smashes it into 𝐕𝐋's face. One degenerate down. Now 𝐒𝐿's murderous gaze locks onto his true prey. Under that chilling stare, 𝐒𝐿's soul trembles as he realizes his fate is sealed. Switching grips, he snaps the man's arm back and seizes the fallen dagger for interrogation. Which one of you killed 𝐒𝐿? He barks at the groveling 𝐕𝐋. Desperate 𝐕𝐋 points a shaking finger. It was 𝐒𝐿. He held the knife. No more words. 𝐒𝐿 drives the blade deep into 𝐒𝐿's arm in retribution. A blood-curdling scream echoes. 𝐒𝐿 thrashes in agony, clutching his mangled limb. You traitor, I only wanted the girl. You're the one who lost control and killed. You couldn't even steal the dagger without committing murder. 𝐒𝐿 spat in desperate rage. Bang Nan confirms the truth. 𝐕𝐋 is the killer. 𝐒𝐿's killing intent surges violently. Trapped by the truth, 𝐕𝐋's face turns pale. The weight of his sins settles in. He crawls forward, begging like a coward. It was an accident. Please, have mercy. I only meant to scare her. She resisted too hard, and my hand just slipped. He slams his head against the floor, pleading for a life he doesn't deserve. I have a family. We're the same people. 𝐒𝐿's rage only boils hotter at the excuse. Now, you care about being brothers? Where was that mercy when you killed her? 𝐒𝐿 had a family too. Don't worry, I won't give you a quick death. Killing you 100 times wouldn't pay your debt. Death is far too easy. Grabbing his collar, 𝐒𝐿 whispers coldly. Dragging him through the hall, the sounds of desperate struggle ring out. Let me go. Where are you taking me? They reach the sealed glass doors of the complex. Without a word, 𝐒𝐿 smashes the fire alarm, triggering the building's defense system. Red lights flash and sirens wail. The deafening alarm rings out, a dinner bell for the horrors lurking in the dark. Covering her ears, bang, Nan screams, Are you insane? Why did you trigger the alarm? You didn't believe me before, right? His eyes glowed red, reflecting the siren's warning. Now, open your eyes and see exactly how many monsters occupy this building. The sirens die down, replaced by a low, guttural growl that freezes their blood. Shadows emerge. A horde of zombies crawls toward the glass. 𝐒𝐿 panics, backing away. We have to run, now. Among the rotting faces, 𝐕𝐋 gasps. Our former colleagues out there. The camera pans to familiar faces. Bang! Nan trembles. Could the entire guild really have fallen to this infection? 𝐸𝐸 cracks the glass door open and hurls Vibin into the swarm. With cold precision, he slams the door shut, sealing the traitor's fate outside. Vibin claws at the glass, screaming for mercy as the monsters close in. 𝐸𝐁𝐻𝐿 died in terror, 𝐸𝐸 says coldly. Now, it's your turn to feel it. True pain isn't the fits. The agonizing wait for the end. He watches the slaughter. A zombie's bite won't turn you instantly. You'll feel every second of your body's decay. Your human senses will remain intact as they slowly consume your flesh. Enjoy the evolution process. The onlookers turn pale, sickened by the brutal justice. Woo-hin staggers back, nearly vomiting. Staring at the monster in human skin, he screams, "You're not a man. You're a demon." 𝐒𝐒𝐒-𝐑𝐀𝐍𝐊 cut him off, his voice dripping with venom. 𝐒𝐊𝐿, what's the play with this old degenerate? He's got blood on his hands for 𝐸𝐿𝐻𝐿's death. Let's toss him to the monsters outside. Shontian roared in defiance. Just kill me. I won't end up a mindless freak like Wei Ping. 𝐸𝐸𝐸 turned, his eyes cold. Death. That's too easy for you. He walked away without looking back. Bind him tight and lock him away, 𝐸𝐸 commanded. I still have a use for this piece of trash. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 pinned the struggling man. Got it. As Shontian screamed, 𝐸𝐸 stepped toward Bingnan's trembling crew. As he drew near, she hesitated, her lips trembling as if she wanted to beg for mercy. But he didn't stop. He passed her like she was nothing but a ghost in the wind. Woo-hin watched with bated breath. Bingnan could only bite her lip, her silence echoing the heavy tension. In the suffocating silence, only Bingnan's shadow remained, weighed down by the crushing burden of her guilt. The scene shifts to the manager's office, thick with the stench of fear and uncertainty. Panicked faces filled the room. Sitting alone, Woo-hin tried to offer a flicker of comfort to Bingnan. Suddenly, one survivor spoke up, her voice trembling but determined to break the icy atmosphere. President ... Jung Zen and the others ... They're not coming back, are they? What do we do now? She's right, another cried. With the horde out there, we're all just waiting for the end. Bingnan's voice was hollow. Don't call me that. I've lost the right to lead any of you. If I hadn't sent them down there, they'd still be alive. Woo-hin rushed to her side, desperate to console her. Don't do this, sis. It was a group decision. You can't carry this cross alone. She shook her head, tears blurring her vision. My impatience cost them their lives. If only I'd stayed calm. If only I'd waited ... Maybe this nightmare wouldn't have happened. She slammed her hands on the desk, rising with a sudden spark of resolve. This company. It's just us now. I, Bingnan, swear. I will protect you all. Not a single person more will die. The light of a flickering chandelier revealed a somber scene. A room holding one watcher and one fallen soul. Staring at 𝐸𝐿𝐻𝐿's cold, still form on the sofa, 𝐸𝐸's heart felt like it was being You idiot... Why didn't you hide behind me like usual? Why did you have to play the hero? Was she really worth your life? A sharp knock shattered the heavy silence of his morning. It was Bingnan. She pushed the door open, her presence a painful reminder of his loss. Without turning, 𝐸𝐸 sensed her. What the hell are you doing here? He spat, voice laced with venom. She died for me. I want to say goodbye. 𝐸𝐸's knuckles whitened as his rage surged like an awakening system. Get out, your face is the last thing I want to see. But Bingnan stood aground. I know you hate me. It's my fault those traitors escaped. My fault she's gone. But the others are innocent. I'm begging you. You're the only hunter strong enough to get them out alive. Do whatever you want to curse me, Hitmagist. Loy turned, his eyes glowing with a murderous intent. Do you think my insults can bring her back? Bingnan flinched, then offered her final desperate card. Fine. Whatever it takes to appease your rage. I'll do anything. Name your price. Loy's voice turned eerily calm as he began to weave a haunting tale of lost dreams. 𝐂𝐁𝐍𝐊 loved beautiful things. She worked so hard for a designer dress she never got to wear. She's going on her final journey now. She deserves to look like the star she was meant to be. And if my memory serves me right, ... The very clothes you're wearing, that's exactly what she wanted. Bingnan gasped as the realization hit her. Seeing her hesitation, Loy let out a sharp, mocking laugh. What, having second thoughts, already? She gave her life for yours, and you're stingy about clothes? Shamed, she whispered. Fine. I'll go change. No, Loy commanded, his voice like cold iron. Strip. Right here. Right now. Zhao Thien Loy, you're trying to humiliate me, she shrieked. Loy only looked at her with pure disdain. I thought you'd do anything for your employees. What's the matter, guild leader? The moment your precious dignity is on the line, you start having second thoughts. Tianli ignored her trembling hands and sneered. I loathe people like youth, the self-proclaimed elites of society. Living in luxury for too long has made you think you're untouchable, hasn't it? You wear a mask of greatness, but you're rotten and selfish. The second your interests are threatened, the facade crumbles. Duty lives. They mean nothing to you. Only that fool was naive enough to sacrifice her life for trash like you. Silence hung heavy as his words cut through the air. Bingnan finally spoke up, her voice tight. Fine. You're right. My pride is everything to me. In this world, a woman who refuses to bow to men must build her own fortress. It wasn't easy. But I did it. I've climbed to the top without ever throwing away my self-respect. I've never let anyone humiliate me before, but there are things more important than my ego. This is the ultimate disgrace, but I'll endure it. I'll prove I'm not the coward you think I am. Her eyes burned with a fierce, desperate resolve as she glared at him. Tianli, remember your promise. She reached back, slowly pulling down the zipper of her dress. He sat there in chilling silence, watching her follow his twisted demands without blinking. Choking back a sob, she began to slide the fabric off her shoulders. Suddenly, he stopped her. Just go. She froze, her mind unable to process his sudden change of heart. If shaming you could bring 𝐒𝐁𝐍𝐊 back, I'd do it 100 times. But it changes nothing. Bingnan bit a lip, suppressing a cry of relief and frustration. As her hand reached for the door, his cold voice echoed behind her one last time. Briefing room, 30 minutes. I'm getting your people out. She spun around, stunned. You're helping us? Tianli interlaced his fingers, his gaze icy. Don't get it twisted. This isn't for you. It's for her. No matter how much I despise you, she traded her life to keep you breathing. I won't let her sacrifice be in vain. Now get out, before I change my mind. She wanted to say something, but stayed silent and vanished. Moments later, he stood up and knelt by the sofa where her body lay. He stared at 𝐒𝐁𝐍𝐊, whispering softly. You always acted so cheerful, but I knew you were scared. Scared of being useless, scared I'd leave you behind. But you never realized how much I needed you. Even with this cursed system choosing me, I was terrified of the zombies. I was lost, unsure if I'd even see tomorrow. I was just as anxious as anyone else. But you gave me courage. You were my strength. I'm so sorry I couldn't protect you. With a heavy heart, he gently lifted her from the sofa for the last time. He carried her toward the balcony where the natural light hit the floor. It's time to go. He poured a trail of fuel across the ground. I won't let the monsters have you. He pulled out a lighter, the small flame flickering before he tossed it forward. The oil ignited instantly. A wall of fire roared up, consuming her body in a blazing shroud. He stood there, watching the smoke rise, letting the girl he cared for fade into the embers. Tianli turned away, his heart hardening. I'll keep you in my memories. I'll never forget. The scene shifted abruptly to the grand conference room where the survivors waited. The group looked at him with desperate eyes. Zhao, is it true? Are you really leading us out? Su Yang looked worried. Boss, the alarm we tripped earlier has the zombies in this building, completely frenzied. The situation is 10 times worse than when we arrived. Escorting this many people is suicide. Tianli cut him off, his eyes shifting to a corner of the room. We're going to need a distraction. He grabbed Yamada, dragging the man up. Let me go. You filthy curs don't have the right to touch me. But one look from Tianli was enough to silence his screams instantly. Don't worry, I won't kill you. In fact, I'm going to help you get out of here. Placing a hand on his shoulder, 𝐶𝐿 said solemnly, Yamada, everything depends on your performance now. Inside a long, cramped ventilation shaft, the group crawled in a tense line. Moving through the shadows, leading the way was 𝐶𝐿, his movements as silent and fluid. Behind him, a bound Yamada struggled to keep up, followed by 2 girls with strange. Watching them, 𝐶𝐾 whispered curiously, Brother Li, protecting this many is already hard enough. Why bring these foreign girls? Aren't they just a burden to us? He glanced back and explained, they aren't degenerates. They just followed the wrong leader. Leaving them behind means they'll be eaten by zombies. Once we're down, their survival is up to fate. As he finished, they reached a vent overlooking a floor crawling with a massive horde of monsters. Seeing them, Vu Hin trembled. So many zombies. Sister Bang Nan, can we really survive this? She gripped Vu Hin's hand tightly. Don't be afraid. No matter what happens, we stay together. 𝐶𝐿 turned to the man behind him. Mr. Yamada, I wish you luck. Yamada recoiled in terror. He shook his head frantically, begging, No. Please, I'll be your slave. I'll do anything. Just spare me. His pleas were useless. Without a second's hesitation, 𝐶𝐿 threw him straight down into the pit. The zombies below heard the impact and immediately locked onto their new target. Suspended above the snapping jaws, begging for a rescue that wasn't coming. But his frantic cries only served to draw the entire horde toward him like a dinner bell. Seeing the distraction work, 𝐶𝐿 signaled his team. The bait is set. Move out now. On his command, they scrambled forward. In another sector, a shadow dropped silently to the floor. As they jumped from the vents, 𝐶𝐿 barked, Run for your lives. They reached a glass door and hammered against it, desperately trying to force it open. They didn't realize the other side was buried in debris. It won't open. We're trapped. 𝐶𝐿 cursed. It's jammed. Bang Nan suddenly shouted. The bank vault has an exit. Follow me. While the group fled, Yamada was struggling desperately against the grasping claws of the undead below. Help me, someone, please. I don't want to die, he shrieked in absolute despair. Suddenly, two figures appeared at the vent above him, calling out his name in a panic. Seeing them, Yamada's eyes lit up. Sato Tanaka. Quickly, pull me up. The two women used every ounce of strength to haul him back into the safety of the shaft. Once safe, he sobbed and hugged them. I'm saved. It's all thanks to you both. But then, a sinister grin twisted his face. I'll make sure your families are well cared for. Before they could react, Yamada ruthlessly shoved both women off the ledge. The two women screamed in betrayal as they were swarmed by the undead in an instant. Mr. Yamada, why? He looked down at them with a cold, demonic laugh. I need decoys to escape. In our world, women sacrifice for men. Consider this your final honor. Without looking back, the degenerate turned and crawled toward a different exit to save his own skin. Cut to another officer, stark contrast of peace. Bang Nan led the sprint, shouting, "We're almost out." Suddenly, the thunder of gunfire erupted, shattering the glass doors into 1,000 pieces. Everyone froze. Somehow, the villain had obtained a rifle and an armored truck. Yamada! The man laughed maniacally, reveling in his newfound power and equipment. Surprised, I didn't just survive. I found the bank's hidden stash. This is my kingdom now. With this armored beast, and these guns, those zombies are nothing but target practice. Without a word of warning, Yamada pulled the trigger. Take cover! 𝐶𝐿 yelled as the group dove for safety amidst the chaotic spray of bullets. 𝐶𝐿 unleashed a hail of bullets, a crazed grin on his face. I'll feed you to the walkers, he roared, firing blindly to paint the floor red. The targets were gone, but his finger stayed glued to the trigger. 𝐶𝐿 and Bang Nan managed to dive into a secure blind spot. But Vu Hin tripped, sprawling onto the concrete. Bang Nan's scream echoed through the hall. Sundine's eyes locked onto her. Nowhere to hide. Die like the rest of them. Lead rained down on the trembling girl. Hukduang sighed. Women... Always a mess. He grabbed a heavy chair, using it as a makeshift shield against the bullets. He dove beside her, the chair absorbing the impact, his hand steadying her shaking frame. In one swift motion, he carried her back. The group reunited, miraculously unharmed for now. Hukduong set her down. Are you hurt? Talk to me. Silence was her only answer. She was paralyzed by fear, tears streaming down. She lunged at him, sobbing uncontrollably. I thought I was going to die. Hukduang flushed at the contact, but fresh gunshots shattered the moment. Flesh was hit. As they collapsed, Bang Nan screamed their names. Tusan. To you. 𝐶𝐿 grabbed her arm, pulling her back. Don't be a hero. Sun Dian kept firing. 𝐶𝐿, stop hiding like a turtle. Hukduang looked at 𝐶𝐿, panicked. Lorje, what's the play? We're pinned. 𝐶𝐿 narrowed his eyes. The scent of blood would soon summon a horde of zombies. Without a word, he retreated into the shadows, his mind racing for a counter. He tapped his ring. System interface. Activate the exchange window. Blue holographic screens flickered to life, listing weapons and high-tier survival gear. He frantically selected an AK, but the system flashed red. Rejection followed rejection. He shifted tactics, desperate. Listen here, great system lord, ... This is an emergency. Can't you let me buy a rifle on credit? The system remained cold. Rules are absolute. Begging yields no results in this world. I am impartial, the AI droned. 𝐶𝐿 cursed the system's lack of flexibility. You stubborn bastard. Since only he could see the screen, he looked insane. Bang Nan watched him talk to thin air, her confusion growing by the second. What is he doing? 𝐒𝐒𝐿 shrugged. Suddenly, 𝐶𝐿's eyes lit up. Gasoline. It was cheap and available. This I can actually afford. Items exchanged. He turned to the group. Stay put and don't move an inch. He whispered a risky plan to 𝐒𝐒𝐿, who gave a grim nod of understanding. The barrage finally ceased, leaving the hall looking like a war-torn graveyard. 𝐶𝐿 revved his engine. Hiding. Fine. I'll just crush your bones under my tires. The armored car lunged. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 stepped out. You senile old dog? He poured everything into his taunts, drawing the villain's murderous gaze his way. Afraid of a fair fight, 𝐶𝐿 laughed. A volunteer for the grave. The villain swung the wheel, the heavy vehicle roaring as it targeted 𝐒𝐒𝐿. A lethal game of cat and mouse began as the car chased him through the lobby. Thud. A heavy impact rattled the roof of 𝐶𝐿's vehicle. A distraction. I saw that coming. He laughed, aiming his gun. 𝐶𝐿. But, as he pulled the trigger, a familiar shadow flickered from a different angle. Too bad, 𝐶𝐿 said, his gaze as cold as a reaper's. Your luck just ran out. 𝐶𝐿 froze, shock paralyzing him like a high-voltage shock. The bullet pierces the roof, striking the gas tank with lethal precision. A massive explosion erupts instantly, consuming the vehicle in a roaring inferno. 𝐶𝐿 shields his face, watching the blazing fire with cold, lifeless eyes. He dodges the flying sparks as Vu-hin and Bang Nan cling to each other. Thick, black smoke billows from the center of the wreckage. The entire area is now bathed in a vengeful, burning crimson glow. 𝐶𝐿 sneers, A quick death was far too kind for you. Brother Loy, you're incredible. That guy was loaded with top-tier gear. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 asks, But where did you find such a massive gas tank? Just a little gift from my bank manager, I suppose. Vu-hin trembles, wondering if they are the only survivors left in 𝐶𝐿. Tiu-ho eyes, filled with tears, suddenly lunges forward in a panic. She hugs Vu-hin tightly, sobbing, I can't believe I'm actually still alive. I was so scared. I thought I'd never see any of you again. 𝐶𝐿 cuts the emotion short. There is zero time to waste. The blast will lure the zombie horde here. We leave right now. The scene shifts to the desolate, crumbling ruins of the outer city. The engine roars to life. We have a way out. The company's gone. Bang. Just call me sister now. 𝐒𝐒𝐿 offers, if you have nowhere else. 𝐶𝐿 glares at him, but 𝐒𝐒𝐿 stands his ground firmly. Brother, it's chaos out there. Zombies are lurking in every shadow. We can't just abandon them. Trinjao wouldn't have let them die. 𝐶𝐿 falls silent, his cold resolve momentarily shaken by the words. Fine, get in the truck. We move out before more show up. Tiu-ho cheers, while Vu-hin begins to eye 𝐒𝐒𝐿. The heavy truck rattles down the long, blood-stained highway of the dead. Silence fills the cabin until Vu Hin turns her gaze. 𝐒𝐒𝐒, tell me the truth. What's your deal with those two? You're clearly not a student. Why are you following them so closely? I'm a martial arts instructor, okay? Don't look down on me. I'm not. You're strong, loyal, and reliable. I actually like that. You're 10 times the man those useless, pampered college kids are. 𝐒𝐒𝐒 flushes bright red, unable to handle her intense, burning gaze. We met on the road. My sister and I were trapped by zombies. 𝐒𝐒𝐒's voice drops. Brother Loy was the one who saved us. He even helped bury my sister. He's my big boss now, forever. Vu Hin smiles. Beneath that rough exterior lies a truly good man. So ... is 𝐶𝐿, his girl? 𝐒𝐒𝐒 shakes his head quickly. No, Loy is pining for some campus goddess named Thamtam Duck. Vu Hin nudges. Bang Nan, see, that means you still have a shot. And what about you? Got a girlfriend? 𝐒𝐒𝐒 scratches his cheek. Not really. My ex and I called it quits. Vu Hin wraps her arm around him. Good. You're my boyfriend starting today. Wait, what? 𝐒𝐒𝐒 stammers as she smirks. No objections allowed. She locked onto his arm, ignoring his frantic attempts to pull away. Saving a girl from danger is a fatal charm, didn't you know? Since you saved me, you're responsible for my life. I'm sticking to you. She scowled and struck a provocative pose. Are you actually rejecting me? What's wrong with me? My face? My body? Su Yang stood there, totally She decided his silence was a clear yes, and claimed her prize. Linking arms, she beamed. Bing Yan, Xiao Huyo, all witnesses now. As of this moment, this guy is officially my boyfriend. She pinched his ear hard. If he betrays me, you sisters better help me. Bing Yan gasped as the truck screeched to a sudden, jarring halt. Bunkering here tonight, Tianlei announced. Everyone, move out. Now. Where are we? They whispered, staring at the desolate urban outskirts. Before them lay a massive, government-funded research facility. High land prices had forced these secret labs into the wasteland years ago. The structures looked like skeletal remains, abandoned mid-construction by the system. It was a ghost Zono life science, just unfinished concrete and steel. Where's the safe zone? Bing Yan asked. Tianlei pointed toward the canteen. The cafeteria's finished. If any princesses can't handle it, sleep outside. Bing Yan fumed, grabbing Xiao Hu's hand. Let's move. They stepped into the hollow dining hall, dead silent and freezing cold. Jackpot. Su Yang's voice cut through the heavy, tense atmosphere. Fresh supplies. Who has the cooking trait? The elite ladies just stared blankly. Xiao Huo timidly raised her hand. I can try, but no promises on flavor. In this hellscape, we eat to survive, not for taste. Tianlei barked. You're our only hope, he added, as Xiao Hu blushed and nodded. A canteen this size must have hidden caches of rice and canned goods. I'll whip up a feast, she promised. Su Yang then slammed down to beers. Léger, we've survived a nightmare. Let's crack a cold one and decompress. Tianlei didn't flinch. I don't drink. Not in this world. Lowering our guard is a death sentence. Zombies don't take breaks, man. It's just one beer. Su Yang shrugged and took a massive, refreshing gulp. Tianlei hesitated. eyeing the can. Maybe a few sips won't kill me, ... They clinked cans as the girls headed to the prep area to help. The sound of running water filled the room as they scrubbed the vegetables. Bing-yan leaned in. Are you serious about Su-yang? Or is this a game? Totally serious. Why the sudden interrogation, sis? It's just ... He's a low rank type. Not exactly the elite hunter you crave. He's no guild heir, she smiled, but his heart is gold. That's rare now. Her expression dimmed. Honestly, in this world, I just need a protector. I can't erase the memory of those bastards who tried to break us. We were helpless, paralyzed by fear, while they looked at us like prey. That's when I realized how fragile we are in this new era. No laws, no rules. A man can crush a girl like an ant here. I refuse to ever feel that level of powerlessness again. She watched Su-yang laughing. He's honest. In this apocalypse, that's my survival ticket. I don't know if he truly loves me, but he's my only shield. With him, I'm safe. Whoosh! Shin suddenly interjected. Bing-yan. She pleaded urgently. Bing-yan, listen to me. You need a solid plan for your future. Don't wait. She warned her, in the old world, Zhao Tianli was just a broke student, not worth a glance. But now, he's a rare, S-tier catch. You must strike first to claim your advantage in this world. Bing-yan. If you don't lock him down now, another woman will surely steal him away from you. And then you'll regret it. Bing-yan sighed. Why are you making women sound like hungry wolves? Just as terrifying as zombies? Bing-yan, I'm dead serious. She laid out the cold, harsh truth. You're a high-born genius at the pyramid's peak, but I crawled up from the very bottom. Business taught me one thing. Women are far more ruthless competitors than any man ruled by his instincts. Bing-yan was stunned by Wu Xin's cold-blooded logic and sharp insight into their current reality. Look at Zhao Huishli, so quiet. Now she's aggressively making moves. But she's not on your level. Unless Zhao Tianli is blind, he'd never pick a lower-tier girl over a top-tier beauty like you. She sighed sadly. Stop joking. Tianli already despises me for everything that's happened in the past. After Cheng Zhao's incident, he hates my guts. You saw his cold attitude. Wu Xin quickly disagreed. You don't get it. If a man truly hates a woman, he would completely ignore her existence. His focus on you proves he cares. And, honestly, I can tell you have feelings for him too. Blushing deeply, Bing-yan stammered. Nonsense. I'd never like an arrogant, overbearing jerk like him. Cleaning the greens, she laughed. I've worked for you for years, and never seen you blush over anyone. You're a classic enemies to lovers trope. You're the boss in business, but in romance. You're my student. Don't take your luck for granted while it's close, or you'll lose everything. Once someone else claims him, it's over. Hubby, my hands are numb. Come help me. Tianli chuckled, mercilessly teasing Kuyang, who was now caught in a very awkward position. Kid, you look so innocent, but you're actually a hidden master of the game. Spill it. When did you two start this? Brother Lei, stop laughing. I was forced into this. Suddenly, a piercing screech echoed across the site. He jumped up. What the hell was that noise? Everyone rushed toward the sound, but Tianli froze at the horrific sight. Waiting for them, a demonic wolf lunged at Zhao Hu. Covered in bloody gashes, she screamed out in pure agony. Zhao Hupo, The beast bared its fangs. Tianli roared out a desperate command. Su Yang, get him out of here now. Su Yang grabbed the panicked girls and ran. Tianli swung his gleaming axe with lethal force, burying the blade deep into the monster's flesh. The demon wolf snarled, growing wary of its prey. Tianli quickly analyzed the beast's next move. This zombie beast's agility and power stats are far beyond any normal undead IV faced. Those claws are razor sharp. One hit is game over. I need a strategy to dodge its lethal attacks. The beast Tianli vaulted over a crate, narrowly escaping, then bolted toward the inner sector. Meanwhile, Xu Yang and the girls were sprinting for their lives. Hide in the processing zone. I'm going back. Suddenly, Zhao Huo appeared, her body twitching violently. Bing Yang gasped, Zhao Huo, thank God, we thought the beast got you. The girl just kept shivering. Are you hurt? Wu Xin asked, right before Zhao Hu's jaw unhinged. She'd lost all humanity. Get back, idiots! Su Yang shouted, shielding the girls from the monster. He reached for his blade, but his hand hit air. Damn it. I left my weapon behind. As she lunged, Su Yang gritted his teeth. He hated being rough, but she wasn't human anymore. He stepped in close, whispering a silent apology before delivering a crushing. A brutal kick sent her flying. Meanwhile, the demon hound cornered Tianli inside the dark kitchen. He vanished into the shadows. The beast growled, frantically searching for its missing prey. The hellhound eyes the kitchen counter, lunging with a snarl, only to slam hard into the barrier. It collapses. I stand. Over here, you mangy mutt. Come and get me. The hound charges. I sprint, leading the predator on a high-stakes chase. I vault midair, and the beast slams into the cabinet. A cold smirk plays on my lips. As it struggles to break free, I bring my axe down in one decisive. Brainless beast, I mutter. System mutated zombie dog slain. Reward to experience points. I stare at the notification, irritation rising. Is the system kidding me right now? Only 2 points. I risked my life and ruined my gear for a measly payout. The system stays firm. No bartering. Fine. I start scavenging the cabinets for loot. Searching for a core, the system asks. This beast was far deadlier than the last mutants. Surely, a high-tier monster drops a spirit core. Or am I missing something here? The system clarifies. These hounds are agile due to genetic traits. Because their biology differs, these specific degenerates don't actually harbor spirit cores within. Damn it, I yell Huck. Duong approaches. Bro, who are you talking to back there? Nobody. Just a habit of thinking out loud in this hellhole. He looks at the decapitated carcass. You took this monster down all by yourself. He's starstruck. That's insane. You've got to teach me how to fight like that, man. Next time we find one, I'll give you a live demo, I promise. The girls are washing off the blood. If they're infected, we're all in deep trouble. I messed up. I didn't sense that beast hiding in the shadows. Pure negligence. One dog is dead, but more could be lurking. We need to clear every inch of this place. I realize my awakening has a fatal flaw. My detection only works on low-tier walkers. Against mutated threats, I'm practically blind. My current stats just aren't enough to survive. I need points. I need to level up my traits before the next wave hits. Hak-duong breaks the silence. So, with the cook dead, who's making dinner tonight? Later, the smell of vegetable soup fills the room. Woo-hin looks at me, eyes sparkling. This smells amazing. 𝐶𝐿, I didn't know you were a master chef too. It's just instant noodles and scrap. I shrugged. Dormitory survival skills, nothing more. She smiles. Still impressive. Whoever ends up with you is going to be very lucky. She nudges. Hak-duong. He scoffs immediately. Me? Learn to cook. Isn't that a woman's job? He asks. Woo-hin's face drops, her entitlement flaring up. Excuse me. My hands are for luxury skincare, not scrubbing grease. Men should handle the heavy lifting. I slam my chopsticks down. Enough of this nonsense. Listen up. I don't care if you were a CEO or some elite socialite before. That world of being pampered while others do the work. It died with the apocalypse. My voice is cold. In this guild, we don't keep dead weight. Contribute or get out. Nobody is going to baby you here. If you want a free ride, leave now. Woo-hin stammers an excuse while Bang Nan slams her beer. Fine, we don't need to follow you. She yells, despite her friend's attempts to quiet her. You're drunk, Bang Nan. I'm not drunk. I'm sick of his constant, arrogant provocations. You saved us, fine. But that doesn't give you the right to insult our dignity. Maybe I can't cook, but that doesn't make me a useless degenerate. She screams. Tears well up in her eyes. You think being a CEO was easy? You saw the glamour? But not the sleepless nights, the endless overtime, or the months living in an office. I fought for every deal, dodging creeps and talking until my throat bled just to survive. Her words pierced like a blade. Tears pooled in Woo-hin's eyes. You know nothing. How dare you judge me? Bang Nan's voice shook with a cold, desperate fury. I fought so hard for 𝐶𝐿-𝐾's debut. Everything is sinking into an abyss of total despair. In a single night, the empire my team and I built simply vanished. It's all over. It's gone. 𝐶𝐿 remained silent, his cold gaze offering no comfort. Sister, you're drunk. Let's go. Bang Nan snapped back. I am perfectly sober. Loy, were you too harsh? Hak-duong whispered. 𝐶𝐿 scoffed as icy silence filled the room. Bang Nan tossed restlessly. Don't leave me, Woo-hin. You're the only thing I have left now. I know. I won't ever leave your side. Zombies aren't scary. I'll fight them. We don't need those arrogant men to survive this hellish world. She gripped Woo-hin's hand tightly. Tomorrow, I'll be the one to protect you, okay? Sure, sister. You're the strongest, Woo-hin sighed. Bang Nan growled. That 𝐶𝐿 is an arrogant. I have never met a man as insufferable and toxic as him in my entire life. Just thinking about him makes me. She suddenly gagged, clutching her mouth as Woo-hin panicked. Please, just rest. I'll go find some fresh clothes for you, Woo-hin said. The light stung. Bang Nan groaned, clutching her throbbing head. Why am I in here? Wasn't I eating? The chaotic memories flooded back. Her heart sank. Oh no. What on earth did I do? How humiliating, Woo-hin. Why didn't you stop me? I reek of alcohol and poor decisions. Loy, are you okay, Hak? Duong asked. Go get some rest. Loy waved him off. 𝐶 stumbled, his vision spinning. What kind of beer was that? The alcohol hit like a truck. His world swayed. Reminds me of hot pot and drinks with the boys back at the dorm. Those were the days. If only that supervisor hadn't caught us. His face flushed a deep, drunken crimson as he wondered. Are Angli and the others safe? Do they have food? And then there's... Tamduk's face flashed in his mind. Suddenly, he saw a figure. Bang Nan was there, changing clothes. Through the haze of alcohol, her silhouette transformed. Tamduk, he whispered with raw longing. Who's there? Bang Nan gasped. In 𝐶 blurred vision, the girl of his dreams stood before him. It really is you. Loy slurred. Bang Nan screamed. I'm changing. Leave right now. He suddenly pulled her into a tight embrace. Do you know how much I've worried about you? Don't vanish again? I was so terrified, I'd never get to say it to your face. I love you. Bang Nan froze in shock. Stop joking and let go. You've always hated me, Loy. He looked at her. You're wrong. I could never hate you. Then why that cold face? You wouldn't even look me in the eye when we spoke. Because I was afraid, 𝐶 admitted. Afraid? Bang Nan whispered, her heart racing. You were a goddess, a shining star. Everyone loved you, and I was absolutely nothing. Just a broke student struggling for tuition. Even looking at you felt like a luxury I couldn't afford. How could a loser like me approach you? But things have changed. I'm not that man anymore. I'll use my power, my life, and everything I have to protect you in this new world. Is that the truth? She breathed. Stay with me. Let me prove my devotion to you. He leaned in close. Bang Nan closed her eyes, letting her towel slip to the floor. A piercing scream shattered the air. 𝐶 bolted upright. What, is it a zombie raid? Vu Hin and Hak Juong stood there, faces beat. Loy looked down. Bang Nan was clutching the sheets. Their clothes lay scattered across the floor in a shameful, drunken mess. 𝐶 panicked. What happened? Vu Hin barked. You know exactly what you did? I leave for 1 minute and you take advantage of her. I can't believe you.